Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Friday night, November 25th, 2022. Tonight we're going to be talking about how Wednesday, Netflix's new amazing series, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, and making a little bit of fun at El Señor Crybaby at Star Wars Theory, and how he gets mad about a brick, of all things, a brick. Well, he'll shit bricks with our gut-wrenching, life-ruining commentary. Let's fucking go. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. Whoopsie daisy on the I forgot to cue up the music. So that was a little embarrassing there. But anyway, how you guys doing? I hope everyone out there had a good Thanksgiving. I had a fun one. Ended up getting the hiccups. Something didn't agree with me, gave me hiccups. So it was a bad night. I spent the night pretty much in bed after getting home, which is why there was no stream. I was going to stream and then I couldn't talk. But now I can talk and we're all here for it. So tonight's going to be a bit of a chill night. Not much to going on. A couple things to chit chat about there tonight. We're going to be talking, obviously, about a bunch of topics. One of our usual, commentators on the panel, finally, after a month of us bitching, finally saw Black Adam. We'll talk about that. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. Wednesday, give overview thoughts about the first little bit of that for those of you who are kind of curious about some opinions on. And obviously making a little bit of fun of Star Wars Theory and those guys over there for getting mad at bricks. Of all things bricks. But let me bring in my crew here. Bring in RJ. Bring in Jimbo. What up, fellas?
Yo.
Well, hello.
Yeah. Yo, hello. Jeez.
Hello.
Let's try this. That's not better. I was like, you know what? I'll try that. I'll try that view. It's like just zooming on my face. Yeah, I know. That's not better. Let's move it out there. There you go. It's very uncomfortable. Do you want to get in on this? Oh, man. Do you guys have yourself a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's pretty chill. Just kind of like relaxed. Watched a couple movies. Ate some good food.
That's good.
Finally saw it, Matt.
You finally saw. Let me get a little bit back here so you guys can see my whole fucking head. I don't know why I went on. I don't know why I went on camera tonight. I was like, I'll go on camera. Oh, well, I was recording videos before we went live. Is why. Yeah. So you saw Black Adam. You saw Black Adam.
For a month, I finally saw it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. You haven't told me your thoughts on it yet, so I have no idea what you think.
Spill the beans.
It was okay.
Is that all you have to say? It's okay.
That's all everyone's been saying about it. That's all right. That's okay.
It was okay. I mean, it was okay.
Okay, what did you think about the writing and the dialogue?
Some of it, like mostly the stuff from the kid, was kind of cheesy and dumb, but overall, like the action, I thought was quite good. I liked all the Justice Society stuff. I loved all that stuff. It was fun. It was dumb fun. It reminded me a little bit of like a Fast and Furious movie. You know?
Well, yeah. What cracked me up about that is, what really cracked me up about that was like, I rewatched the Paint It Black scene today because someone had linked it on Twitter, I watched it without sound. So for those of you who don't know, the Paint It Black is like a slow-mo action scene that's like, that some person was like calling it one of the best moments of cinema, right? It's like so amazing. And I'm like, one of the comments on that was just, Quicksilver did it better. And I thought that was really funny, but like if you watch the scene without sound, like you just watch it without sound. And sometimes it's fun to do, by the way. Sometimes it's fun to just like mute it and just watch a scene play out to look to see how it's made, how it comes together. And I'm laughing at this particularly because like it's literally The Rock on rails the entire time. It's like you're playing one of those like a Wii, like Resident Evil on the Wii video games, where it's just on rails and you just watch him like make his way through this sequence. And then at the very end, it all just kind of ends and you're like, oh, all right, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, I did like the opening. I mean, it's been a month. Like the opening action sequences, especially, where like The Rock is just absolutely decimating those army intergang goons. Like that was fun to watch. It was very entertaining. Like the way like
it was frenetic. It was frenetic. Yeah. There was shit going on. Like you didn't, there was shit happening to him. The problem though was like when he's cruising, and he just like nothing impacts him, nothing hurts him.
Well, that
So
was the
it's
point, though. He's meant to be unstoppable, right?
yeah,
the
I
thing.
understand that, but I feel like
power.
unstoppable is boring. That's kind of the way I view it, though. Unstoppable is boring. Like
But he
the
put
Guardians
a
of the
grade
Galaxy
that's
holiday special made a
unstoppable.
great joke about that, though, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But there was like it's kind of ridiculous.
Like I said, though, I really like the JSA. But part of me is just like, I wish they were in the movie a little more. Like, I felt like we just barely got to know those characters.
Well, and yeah, that's kind of the whole point. Like they were the ones you're interested in. Like what I said before is that Black Adam was the most boring character in his own movie, and he didn't have to be. He didn't have to be the most boring character. I didn't say the worst character because I know you're going like the Kid, because everyone says the Kid.
I don't think
The Kid was fine.
I mean, he was just annoying, and honestly, I found his character to be pointless towards the end, and like that whole arc at the end was pointless. But
The
like
speech,
the thing
the
is,
speech.
oh yeah, that was awful. I fucking could not stop laughing.
The speech was weird because like I felt like the way like they recorded his dialogue, the sound was off. I don't know.
It sounded kind of
It
weird.
was ADR. I don't know. I will say though, I liked the twist at the end about like Black Adam not being the actual champion, but like him being like the dad who like
I don't.
his son was
Doesn't that like, but doesn't it undercut the character
obvious,
though? Like
I feel like that was like obvious. Like at least like from my perspective, watching it, like just like understanding like the first intro scene and like seeing like the kid and also the father that was like kind of like for like not showing the face but the voice.
Well, it was cool too because the kid when he
so
became,
like that wasn't really a twist.
When the kid became the adult, it was the actor who plays Rock on that NBC show Young Rock. So I kind of got a kick out of that too.
Oh yeah. I mean, my thing is
really?
like that.
Yeah,
that just comes across as like nepotistic casting.
I mean, it makes sense if you're gonna have a like. I mean, I guess it makes sense for that. But my thing is like, I don't really see it as a twist. My only issue is like the only interesting character that I was like really excited to see was Dr. Fate, and we all know how that goes. And I feel like the dialogue like towards the end and just kind of some of the choices that they do are just kind of like, why? Like the story decision like with Hawkman like pulling the trick with the helmet on Sabak.
That was cool.
But
but why couldn't Dr. Fate do that?
Exactly. No, that's exactly what I'm fucking saying.
It
Like,
was
he did do that trick though. He made multiple copies of himself. Remember?
yeah, but he's supposed to be the fucking guy, and somehow he wasn't able to do it. Fucking Hawkman was.
So what you're saying, Jimbo, and I want you to be very clear about this, is that Hollywood took another job away from a white man. Is what you're saying?
Oh my god! Why did you have to make it? No, it's just why did they have to do my boy Dr. Fate like that? You son of a bitch! Wow.
Obviously, I'll say this, man. Fucking Aldous Hodge was fucking lit in that movie, dude. I loved him in that movie.
He was.
I liked the JSA. I've been very open about that. I've been very open about like I enjoyed the JSA. I thought they were great. I want more Atom Smasher. I even said in my review, I'm like fucking ship. Atom Smasher and Cyclone, they had some good chemistry. I want to see a love romance blossom with them. They were good.
Just no one needs to learn more about what the fuck his character is in DC, because like that's the thing. Like going into it, like I just knew, like I've seen interviews of him saying like, oh yeah, it'd be cool to see Dr. Fate go after Ares based off one interview. I'm like, clearly he has not seen Wonder Woman and see that Ares was already defeated. But okay, buddy. The second thing is like just watching it. It's like. It's just hard. His portrayal of the character just ruins it for me, knowing that he absolutely has no clue what the fuck he's talking about or doing in the film. It just takes away from me.
I get it. I gotta give credit to Garrick here. The Rock is such a boring movie star. Schwarzenegger in his prime was better. Even Seagal in his prime was better. Schwarzenegger in his 70s is still better, dude.
Oh,
like
man,
because
Stallone,
no, we're talking
better.
personality wise. Nah, you get excited. You get excited if Stallone pops up. You do. You get if Stallone or Schwarzenegger or hell, even Jean-Claude Van Damme pops up. You get excited. It's like, oh yeah, hell yeah, bring him back. But see, even Seagal, okay,
he doesn't even do shit. But yet
I'll say this. But this is a hot take. Even Seagal in his prime was better than and you know what? Here's the thing with that, man, is I got to agree. Seagal played a very specific character type. But for what it was at the time, he made it fucking work. Look, the guy's insane, psycho, all that jazz. But man, fucking Under Siege. I mean, look, above the law, out for justice, marked for death, hard to kill, on deadly ground, under siege 2, exit wounds, fucking, okay, I won't say much about Glimmerman on that one, but like executive decision, that was a big fuck you. None of you, okay, here's the thing. You guys are way too young for this, okay? I'll say this. Like, do you ever heard of a movie called Executive Decision?
Sounds familiar.
Executive Decision is Kurt Russell, Halle Berry, terrorists take over a plane, a special forces team gets sent into the plane. It's a gigantic super plane, right? It's an international flight. And they get sent in to intercept it to take out the terrorists and save the plane. Like, that's what it is, okay? Well, Seagal is in the movie. He's heavily marketed in the movie, in the trailer, right? He was all over it. Except here's the thing. It's like Seagal never dies in his movies. He fucking dies like 20 minutes into this film. As they're boarding the stealth jet to the plane, something happens where like the connecting bridge ends, like the ladder ends up breaking, and he ends up getting like blown out, and like that's how he dies. You know, and you're like, I remember at the time people were fucking furious because it felt like duplicitous marketing. Because you had a bunch of Seagal fans that were like, I went to go see this for Seagal, not fucking Kurt Russell, although they should. But they at the time, Executive Decision was a big one. A lot of people were heavily pissed off at that at the time.
The one bad thing though about the whole Black Adam, I told you this, Matt. My dad fell asleep.
You said that.
He got to the where they broke him out of where he got released and Painted Black, and right after Painted Black, he fell asleep and then woke up during the third act.
That's fine. Although in the middle act had some good moments in it though. Rodney here says Seagal over The Rock. Matt, it's okay. It's point to say you don't like The Rock. We'll still tune in. It's not that. I love Rundown. All right, I love Scorpion King. You know, like I tell you this, Red Notice. I look forward to the sequels because I feel they got the first one out of the way. The first one, that twist at the end of the first one, I really enjoyed. That twist at the end, I didn't see coming. But it's like what it is though is that someone needs to sit that man down and go, "You are fucking 50. Act like you want to be in these roles that you're in." Like, don't make it out. This is the problem. Like in Fast and Furious movies, he was good because the director was playing to his strengths, and he had a heel or a baby face to fucking to bounce off of. Him and Vin Diesel had that chemistry in Fast 5, and and then
I mean,
in Fast 5 they did. In Fast 5 they did, but in Fast 7 it was him and Jason Statham fucking stole the show. Right?
Wait.
Him and Jason Statham stole the show in Fast 7 or in Fast 8. You know? And so they got Hobbs and Shaw. All right. So it's like, but if you pair him with the right people, The Rock, I saw someone say this the other day about The Rock. The Rock is like, cannot sustain it on his own. He needs somebody good to bounce off of. All right.
I can agree with that.
And he does, you know what I mean? So there's very much like that. Like I criticized the man, like, yeah, Walking Tall. Okay. Roman numerals brings up Walking Tall. Who was a co-star in Walking Tall? Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville was a co-star in Walking Tall. Dwayne was a straight man. Johnny Knoxville was a comedic relief. Go back to The Rundown, right? The Rundown had The Rock and Sean William Scott. We all know him as Stifler. So that he was the comedic guy. Stiffmeister, yeah, man. Fucking, I love golden showers. Right? Like, all that shit. It's just, I'm just saying, like, you've got like the straight man, which is Dwayne, and he does it well. And then you put him with someone who is the humorous one. Like, that's why him and the Kevin Hart dynamic work out as well as it does. Because Kevin Hart's the funny man and Dwayne's the straight man. They tried that with Red Notice with Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds, and then Dwayne trying to kind of almost at times play catch up to Ryan Reynolds. It felt like in some of their interactions. Whereas, like, I'll say this though. Reed here for $2, thank you, says Spirited is greater than Black Adam. Now, the reason why I bring this up in this particular context has everything to do with the fact that in Spirited, I was concerned that Ryan Reynolds' energy and Will Ferrell's energy they would butt heads. You know what I mean? Because their energy is so vastly different. Like Ryan is good at like, fast talking, quick reactions. And that kind of like facial reaction, physical humor sort of thing. And he's really quick. He's quick-witted, so he can make the jokes, the puns, the quips, all that stuff, right? Will Ferrell is very physical. He exudes he acts with every part of his body. And I'm like, will they work well? Yeah, they did. They really, really did. You know, but again, in that movie, Ryan Reynolds, while still being comedic, was still the straight man, and Will Ferrell was the funny man. And it worked well because they were able to complement each other. And that's one of the things that happens in Hollywood, not as much as it should. Well, I mean, I'm sure it does, but they have chemistry tests to see if these actors can, like, you know, work together, right? I'll give you guys an example of it not being caught until it was too late. Eddie and Chrissy in Stranger Things season 4. Right? Because you go to the first scene with them when they're at the picnic table in the woods, and you're like, oh man, they're really hitting it off. You know, like, you're like, all right, like, I could see, like, she's with that abusive boyfriend guy. I could see her like hooking up with Eddie, right? The cheerleader with the stoner. You know, that's an opposites attract trope we've seen before, but it works. And then later on in the episode, she shows up at his trailer, and I'm like, he's gonna hit it. You know, and then of course we know what happens to that shit. But it's like, even the Duffer Brothers, when they were asked about this, they were like, we didn't know about their chemistry until it was too late. Like, we didn't know until we were already filming it. Like, and they actually added, I think, a little bit at the picnic scene in order to get a little bit more out of it. But at the end of the day, Chrissy still had to happen. That still had to happen.
It was,
you know what I mean?
it was a very crucial moment in the show. It's just unfortunate because I know a lot of people do like the duo. And, you know, we obviously know what happens in the finale of that season. But, you know, you never know.
Yeah, it's asking, was there a twist in Red Notice? There was, Simon, there was.
Yes.
It was, and I don't want to say what it is if you haven't seen it, because it's actually like one of the only really good parts of the movie. In my mind, it really was. It really was.
I fell asleep.
Like, one good thing, real quick though, my dad did love the Superman cameo. He said that was the best part. So,
I mean, to be honest, my
he
dad
said,
said
like,
the
that,
same
he said
thing.
the whole movie was worth it for that.
My dad said the same thing. My dad.
That is so. God, that's so boomer right there. It's all worth it for 5 seconds. I mean, you can tell you, like, that defines their sex life.
Well,
I didn't say it was worth it.
All
He said-
worth it for 5 seconds, baby.
My
Well,
dad said it was also
he
very
said that was the
generic
best
and-
part. The rest of the movie was bad. That was the best part.
Okay. I mean, I enjoyed the post-credit scene, right? I still think that the movie, like, look, and I give credit where I believe credit is due. And I have said that I like the fact that it tied in Superman, it tied in Suicide Squad, it tied into JSA. Like, it literally was like a hub movie for a lot of other things. And that's good. That's really, really, really
But
good.
it was generic as fuck.
But it was generic as fuck. Yeah. I'm not out here being a Black Adam hater. I've told people go check out the movie. It's on PVOD. Go watch it. I say that all the time. Like, I'm like, just
high hopes. Just go
don't
into
have-
it.
yeah, don't have high. I'll tell you this, Wednesday, to kind of move over to Wednesday. Well, actually, hold on real quick. There's a super chat from Garrick here I wanted to get to, asking, are John Cena and Dave Bautista more bankable than The Rock? I'll tell you this, man. Coming off, look, here's my prediction. It's a hot take prediction. Once we get further into Peacemaker and Gunn is really able to dive into John Cena and really work with John Cena to bring out that talent, I think we're going to see John Cena increase to the level of Dave Bautista. I think Bautista is a fantastic actor.
Dude.
Like, amazing actor.
100%.
And John Cena is the same way. You don't think of them like that. The Rock at this point is just Mr. Eyebrows. That's really what he is. That's his signature move. And I think,
Man,
I don't want to say
a real hater, bro.
I'm not a hater, but it's like, come on, dude. It's evolve or die, evolve or die, evolve or die. Right? Batista's like, look, I don't want to go in and like do the bodybuilding stuff anymore. He's in his 50s. Like, that shit hurts you after a while, you know? But he's like, I want to work in these movies. I want to do these roles. Go watch him in, even Army of the Dead, he did a good job. Like, fucking Blade Runner 2049, the opening scene with that was really, really good. And it got a lot of people to, I think, look at Batista as something more than just a meathead, you know? And then you look
Or
at
even a
John
wrestler.
Cena and
like, I see him
Yeah.
more as an actor than a wrestler. Like, I mean, he was a great wrestler, but I feel like acting was really something that he excels at. And I mean, even in his holiday special, it's like, bro, like, this guy has all these opportunities. And I just find it like amazing that, you know, he's able to evolve his career like that. It's like other people like The Rock and John Cena, but I feel like out of those other two, I feel like Batista's the better actor than, you know, John Cena and The Rock, because obviously he brings more to the table. I mean, through all the different roles, I mean, even though he has a way less track record in acting than The Rock, I feel like he brings more acting skills than The Rock. 100% without a
Well,
doubt.
I mean, The Rock is spectacle. Okay, let's be fair, right? If we were gonna like, I would say if you want my honest opinion, The Rock is a lot like Steven Seagal was from the '90s. All right, like what you're gonna get, but what saves a Seagal movie is also who's around Seagal. You know what I mean? Like a lot of that is who's around Seagal, but at the same time, I was saying this when Bipolar Jedi and I were talking about this the other night, man. We're saying things like, look, back in the '90s, a Stallone movie was an event movie. A Schwarzenegger movie was an event movie. Like I remember back in '93 when Junior came out, we all went to go see Junior, or when Twins came out, we all saw Twins, or like, I remember like wanting to go see Last Action Hero because it was PG-13, and like going, the concept of a kid going into a movie as a young kid at the time, that was everything to me. That was something I would love to do. I actually, believe it or not, I will fucking fully admit this. I wrote, after watching Last Action Hero, there was a game series at the time. You guys may have heard of this, probably not. It's called King's Quest from Sierra.
Oh yeah. King's
old school point and click adventure, things like that. Love those games. It's all about it's all about King Graham and Daventry is the name of the land. I wrote a fan fiction about a kid finding an amulet that brought him in to Daventry. And it's kind of a self-insert, you know what I mean? But like I was writing the story about a kid going to Daventry and like everything else, And so it's like, but like the concept of a young kid getting a golden ticket and going into a movie, or a magic ticket and going into a movie, was like such a cool concept. Like it's like, that's the kind of shit that nowadays you're not going to see much more of anymore, generally speaking, right? Like Garrick here says, True Lies is the last classic Arnold movie. I mean, that was 26 years ago, dude. Like, I think he's the classic wise. I mean,
I can't think of any modern movies.
Well, he's done stuff that's modern, but it's like, I mean, like there was, classic speaking, but I mean, there's still other good ones that are in there. You've got, obviously like Eraser came out in '96. That one is just fucking fun. End of Days in '99. That was a good one as well. The Sixth Day. If you guys haven't seen The Sixth Day, that was really solid, as like a clone movie and whatnot. There was a lot going on, which, he's done stuff like Maggie apparently is really good. I haven't seen that one. There was one called The Last Stand where it's just kind of like him as like a sheriff at the border as like these criminals are incoming and stuff. I mean, the fucking Collateral Damage. Oh my God. That movie got impacted by 9/11. I'll tell you that right there. Right. Sabotage, The Escape Plan. Escape Plan was fun. I wouldn't call it classic, but it did spawn Stallone in 2 more sequels. They did 2 more Escape Plan movies.
Oh, yeah, they did. Yeah, one of them had Batista in it, I think. Batista
was in the second and the third one, I think.
Mm.
But that's a lot of it too, is like in these situations. Dalton here says Kindergarten Cop. That came before. That was before True Lies. But yeah, that was that. Garrick here says Terminator 3 is underrated. Terminator 3, I could argue that would be a classic. There are a lot of people who enjoy that. Wait, what?
It's a classic piece of junk, maybe.
No. Terminator 3, no.
Terminator should have ended after
Terminator Genesis, I'll grant you.
Genesis
I stand for Dark Fate. I've done this multiple times.
How dare you, RJ?
I still
stand by the fact Terminator should have ended after 2. But,
Well, I don't think anyone out there's really, I don't even think Jim Cameron would disagree with you on that one, man. But yeah, Shiny here says, get out, RJ.
No,
RJ was 4 when fucking Terminator 3 came out, all right? So it's like, go to Yan's stream. Who's Yan? Red Salute here says Commando is actually really... you get the fuck out.
No, that's a bad take.
You get the fuck out, dude. That's a bad take.
That's a really bad take.
That's a bad take, dude.
I like Commando.
Commando is great. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see here. Roman here says, I'd rather watch Batman and Robin than Terminator 3. That's also a bad take. What are you What? No.
Did anyone even mention Conan the Barbarian?
Well, I mean, that was 82, I think, was Conan the Barbarian.
Those are still solid. Solid.
But those are,
Mladen here says, I stand for Terminator Salvation.
I like the ideas of Terminator
Yeah,
Salvation. I just wish the movie was better.
I mean, I enjoyed the cast of Terminator Salvation.
Yes, that's a good
I
casting,
thought the
good
casting
ideas.
was really good. Mick G is I mean, the concept was interesting. I thought it made enough money to warrant doing another, but I really think it was around that same time that the Sarah Connor Chronicles had come out, and I really think that there was just like too much for that, you know. Dalton here says the first two Terminator films are unbeatable, says the fanboys. I mean, yeah,
That's true though.
they are good. I mean, but I still like number 3. The fact that number 3 ends the way number 3 ends, I really enjoy it.
It's kind of
To be
an
fair.
FU ending though. I'm sorry.
Not an FU ending. It's like Skynet takes over. What do? They nuked the world. We know about this. This shows it. That was at the time, that was a bold ending of the movie. Garrick, you're asking, did you ever see Raw Deal? Hell yeah, I saw Raw Deal. Yeah, Raw Deal was a good one too. Wasn't like the guy from Murphy Brown, like the dude who gets killed in the bar in that one? What was the one he did? Red Heat, where he teams up with Belushi. He's a Russian cop that comes to New York. And, hey, dude, it was rush hour before rush hour. Seriously, Red Heat was good, dude. What about Eraser with him and James Caan? I loved Eraser, man. Vanessa Williams, was it Cromwell was in that as well. You know, like this one where he fucking murks an alligator. There's a whole action sequence in a zoo, and he ends up murking an alligator. It's good stuff there. So wait, Salvation Extended is better than Terminator 3. I haven't seen the Terminator Salvation Extended yet. I should give that a watch because I do like extended cuts of movies. But Mick G is the worst director in Hollywood. I am trying to think of a way I can defend Mick G on this one. Because I don't hate the guy.
What about Paul? What's his name? Resident Evil director Paul W.S. Anderson.
Well, okay, so like that guy did Mortal Kombat, so I can't really fault him.
I mean, everything after though.
Event Horizon. Have you ever seen Event Horizon?
Is that the horror film?
Yes.
Yes, I have
Dude,
seen that.
yeah, that's a good fucking movie.
It's a
He
good
did that
movie.
one.
It's probably his best movie, but
I mean, arguably that's his best movie. But I did enjoy the 2002 Resident Evil. The first Resident Evil movie was good.
Well, the first one, it's a guilty pleasure, and I do think Apocalypse is a guilty pleasure. After Apocalypse, though, no.
Apocalypse is a guilty pleasure. It is. I like the fact that they get rid of all the clones in the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And also her scanner's ability, like all of her telekinesis shit, they just get rid of all of it. Because it was stupid. It was pointless. It ruined number 3, in my opinion. But I think... But no, I've seen all of them. The only one I truly did not like was number 5. Number 5 was so pointless, in my opinion. Number 6 was not great either. But like at least it concluded the Alice chapter. So there's that. But Roman numerals here says Extinction is the best. The third one, the film, the way the guy did the third movie, I thought was really good. How he shot it in the desert in the daytime and used the shadows as like, that's what you can't see. That's where the danger's lurking. I thought that was pretty good. Apocalypse. Apocalypse is the one in Raccoon City. That one I have fun.
That was the one with Nemesis in it and Joe Valentine.
Yeah, I have fun with that movie. I don't give a fuck. I have fun with it.
The Nemesis design was cool, like the way they did Nemesis in Apocalypse.
Yeah.
I did like that.
Let's see. RWP here says Alien v Predator is his best movie.
I mean, it's better than Requiem.
See, but Requiem wasn't bad. People always like
horrible.
the dog on. It's not horrible. What are you talking about?
You can barely see anything. It's like
I saw it just fine.
No, like they hide all of like the cool action stuff. You barely even get to see the Predator Alien hybrid. It's just no.
Well, I have a buddy of mine who worked on that Pralien, so he designed the mask.
Yeah, it's a great design, but they hide it. Like the whole movie shot in the dark. You don't really see stuff very well.
I still liked it. I don't know. I saw with a bunch of people I worked with though. Maybe that was what it was. Maybe like my friend group was just a little bit different there. Garrick here with $2. Thank you, buddy. Says Dinesh D'Souza is the worst director.
He's not a director.
He does documentaries. Yeah, he does documentaries, and they're not even good documentaries.
Worst ever. Like, oh my god.
I tried watching the 2000 Mules because I saw it like it was like streaming somewhere, and I clicked on it. I got 5 minutes in and said, "Nah, I'm good. This is
Did
so
you watch
trash."
the Hillary Clinton one where he claims that the Democratic Party is still secretly racist? They've always have been, or whatever. Oh, that's funny.
Oh my god. Let's see here. Tony here says, I think Event Horizon and Dustin Hoffman's Sphere are a bit similar-ish, if I understand correctly. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen either, but Sphere was a Michael Crichton novel, and it was a little bit different. I would say Sphere and Abyss are probably more connected than I'd say maybe Event Horizon and Sphere.
Yeah, because Event Horizon has Sam Neill in it, right? Didn't that also come out the same year as in the mouth of what was that? In the mouth of
I think In the Mouth of Madness was, I want to say 96, 95, 96. Do you read Sutter Kane? Still a great line. Still a good movie. That movie fucked me up as a kid. Lewis Cox here says Michael Bay is the worst director. That's not true.
There's worse directors.
There's worse. Watch The Island and tell me Michael Bay is a bad director. Watch Pain and Gain and tell me he's a bad director, for crying out loud. Mike, let's see here. Roman numerals is defending Alien 3. So is Rational defending Alien 3. That's a bold choice. That is a bold choice to defend Alien 3. Oh, In the Mouth of Madness was 94. Okay, sorry. I was wrong.
Wow, and guess who wrote in the Mouth of Madness?
Who?
Mike DeLuca, who's now the head of Warner Brothers Pictures.
Well, if anyone can get Carpenter back on that horse, because Carpenter wants to do another movie, man. Carpenter wants to do another film. So I say give us another. If you want my honest opinion, I think Carpenter would probably go back to the Thing franchise. That's what I think he probably would do, but I don't know if he should do it. I don't know if he could ever capture that magic again. They tried in 2011. There's that character here says Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer are the worst. They killed spoof movies. They did. I remember when we got the trailer for Date Movie at the drive-in, and just the whole my milkshake brings out the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than you. I'm like, oh my god, that was all crazy. Let's see. Eyes Only here says Michael Bay did the best Mortal Kombat. Which one did he do that was Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know. Roman numerals here says Alien 4 is even a guilty pleasure. It's a guilty pleasure when you see it as a kid. I saw it in theaters, dude. I saw it in theaters. And you know what? I was high. And I thought it was okay. Real here, Fat Man Crybaby 96, love the name. Says, what did you think of Andor's finale? I fucking loved it, dude. I loved it. I was getting emotional. I didn't go full Kevin Smith. I didn't cry. But I was getting emotional at that fucking, when she's giving that speech.
It was really an hour of fascism is bad, and the only way to fix fascism is to fight and beat the shit out of some fascists.
And you say that like it's a bad thing.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
It was a good thing.
It's a very good thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's no, I really, really loved it. Really pissed off that we have to wait a year, if not more, longer to get the rest of it. I feel like if I tell you this right now, man, if I was Iger coming into it, I would be I'd look at Andor and I would call up Tony Gilroy and go pause and split season 2 and season 3. Can you expand them? Give us 6 episodes per year, and give us the 4-year lead into that shit. But that shit's already well into production. And so it's unfortunate, man. It's really unfortunate because I really, really, really liked Andor. I don't want it to be done. Diego Luna fucking knocks it out of the park, man. I want to know what's going to happen with Mon Mothma and all those.
Yeah, but you know what? I appreciate they planned out the story ahead of time and they have a clear vision for what they want to do.
Yeah, I grant that. I grant that 100%. I mean, it's it's better than having no plan. Speaking of that, I saw a TV writer of all things on Twitter the other day complaining about the lack of 22 episode seasons. She's like, we need to bring those back. No, we don't. No, we fucking don't. We absolutely
depends
fucking
on the
don't.
show. I think that each show should be a case by case basis.
Well, I think if you're going to do it, then you treat it like the first half of the season is one story and the second half of the season is another story. Like another arc. You have your arcs fine, but you do the arc. Whereas because that was the thing. Once Upon a Time had their first season which was just like introduction, character episode, slog to get through. Season 2 was okay, but season 3 they split it up. The first half of the season dealt with going to Neverland Island, right? And then the first half dealt with that. The second half dealt with who was it that came back in? It was the Wicked Witch of the West, right? She came in, and that was a big problem for that shit, you know. And like, okay, cool. So you have two different storylines that can be wrapped up, and then you move on to your next stuff. And I think that's a better way of going about it versus like 22 episodes, and a large number of those are just filler episodes. Right, where you've got your monster of the week or type approach to stuff, and I understand why they do it, but at the same time, I think we has just like as a culture have just moved the fuck past it. To be honest with you, right? Reed is right. It does depend on the story. Speaking of this, real quick, I want to make sure I get to this one. Lewis Cox here for £2. Thanks, buddy. Says I have seen The Island and it was crap. I think that's a bad take, but that's your take there, buddy. That's okay. That's okay. I think I loved it when it came out. I think it's Michael Bay's best movie, to be fair. But then again, I really love The Rock and Bad Boys 2. And Michael Bay has made more good movies than he's made bad movies.
I think it has this horrible reputation because the latter Transformers movies being as bad as
and also, what was it? 6 Underground that was on Netflix was not good.
I never saw that, but I heard
that was not good. I was so bummed by that one. Like when Netflix was like, "We're not moving forward with this," I was like, "Good, that's a wise decision."
Makes sense, yeah.
I did see some of you guys here talking in the chat about Strange World.
Oh yeah, Dalton brought that up. Yeah. So how about that Strange World? It's poised to be one of the biggest flops in the history of Disney. So.
And who can be blamed for that? Well, I should say, who will be blamed for that? Because it's going to be one person, maybe two.
It's going to be Chapek.
It's going to be Chapek, but let's also talk about how Jennifer Lee is also probably not the most competent leader of Disney animation.
Well, hold on though. Is it her fault or is it the company for not getting behind the movie and marketing it? Because the people who saw Strange World said it's pretty good, but the problem is that it had no marketing. And the marketing it did have was just flat out bad. So is it really the leadership fault or is it just
there's obviously because under Iger would always have it be like create the content and then we'll market around that,
But they didn't want to market Strange World.
No, they didn't. They I think it's
Do you think it's because of the gay character? Or do you think it was because of the
No, God no. Most
that's
people
the
don't
take
care
going
about
on right now.
Oh, well, the take going on with it, people are obviously going to say that. They're going to be like, it's the gay, you got the gay. I mean, look, I talked about that the other night where there's someone said there's the gay teenager in this movie. And then it's like Disney just checking boxes again,
Well, no, apparently this time it was actually legitimate representation, which is why they think that Disney isn't marketing it because they want to bury it, which I'm like, but why even make it in the first place? I don't know.
I don't even know. I mean, look, clearly that movie will have that stuff chopped out for its international releases. Clearly it's going to be removed. I mean, we already know that's going to happen. You know what I mean? So it's I don't know. I feel I know Iger's all about representation, and so he backs it and whatnot, but Chapek is about the money, and he still chased that shit.
Maybe that's why he didn't market it.
Yeah, John here says, I don't recall any commercials or late night talk shows promoting Strange World. I saw some.
There was a couple of TV spots, and they played the trailer in front of Black Panther. That was about it.
Yeah, I didn't really see much else going on with that though as well.
Honestly, it's bad because you couple Strange World with Lightyear.
I have no clue what that movie even is about. I have no clue what
they didn't market it. That's why you don't know.
Exactly.
It's a pro-environmentalist message. It's steampunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like classic steampunk.
Yeah, it's about a family.
Google it real quick and see if
World. There you go.
I mean, in many ways, it's kind of akin, and it's funny that it came out this year. It's kind of akin to Treasure Planet.
Wait a minute.
Treasure Planet had
it's got those Treasure Planet vibes.
And that one bombed as well.
Yeah, I have seen a ton of marketing for this. I just honestly had no clue what it was called. I just don't watch that content.
I think Strange World might be a weird name for it, so it's kind of one of those weird things where I don't quite know.
Well, hopefully Iger can champion animation again now that he's back for at least a couple years. Be like, hey, let's actually treat better.
I agree with Grace Randolph. I think both Pete Docter and Jen Lee are going to be out of their respective roles.
But why? They haven't done anything wrong.
It doesn't matter if they haven't done anything wrong. They need someone who can better navigate the business, right? That's what it is.
But
Like
it
it's
wasn't
just
their fault though. It was Chapek and
well,
the boards.
I
They
mean,
made good content, just that the fact that the corporation.
okay, but even Strange World got a B cinema score from people who went to go see it.
Yeah,
So,
okay, that is
you know,
fair.
Like it got and I'm not, and again, I don't put a lot of faith in cinema score, but they do. All right. Like, I mean, the movie, look, here's my prediction for Strange World. It will be on Disney Plus on Christmas, like Encanto. It will blow up on Disney Plus, like Encanto. The movie will see a spike in theatrical viewings, like Encanto. It will do well when it hits there first, which that goes to talk a lot about just where we are on the streaming front. You know what I mean? Like on the streaming front, it's just, that's where these things are now. And I've been watching a lot of streaming recently. Real quick here, Moisture for $2 says, I hate 6-episode season series. It's not enough. Funny thing is, I have a video coming in the morning about why I think Marvel presentations are going to be the wave of the future. Because of Guardian.
Yeah, did you read the Richard Newby article about that actually?
I did not. I did not.
He actually said the same thing. It was funny.
Richard and I are very close on our takes on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he said pretty much that the special presentations might fix. What was it? His article title was like
the fatigue,
the quote unquote fatigue. But fatigue.
Yeah, I don't believe that fatigue is there.
Well, I don't think he does either. But he said it would fix a lot of issues if they prioritize special presentations.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this real quick. So the 6-episode seasons, it depends on the show. If it can tell me a good arc in 6 episodes, I think that's okay. Like Andor is 12 episodes, and it told me great 4 arcs. There were like 4 arcs in Andor, which worked really well. There was the overarching narrative and then the character arcs, but you had 3 episodes led to something. You know what I mean? And for me, that worked out real well. Really enjoyed. I enjoyed Andor. It was so goddamn good. So I was watching tonight. I know Jimbo finished it. RJ, you haven't seen it yet, but Wednesday's now out on Netflix. It's only 8 episodes. And we've already, my family and I, we just went through the first 4 episodes tonight. And I got to say, I love it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's wonderfully funny. There's a lot of great references back to the original movie and other little Easter eggs kind of tossed in there as well. It's got a compelling enough mystery to keep it going. And Jenna Ortega slays as Wednesday, and then the fact that
it's like a star-making performance. So
I would say for Jenna Ortega, I think X, it was her better performance. But like,
I mean, she's had a killer year. I don't think she's gave us
literally
a bad
speaking.
performance. Like,
no, literally speaking,
Scream,
yeah.
X, and this, like she's a phenomenal actress.
And she's only 20. Sure. I thought she was older. I thought she was like almost 30 or something. She's only 20.
No, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought she was older. But it's kind of like Lauren Lavera, who plays Sienna in Terrifier 2. Yeah, it's like 30 something years old and playing a high schooler in Terrifier.
A sequel as well.
Terrifier 3 is coming. That was confirmed the other day.
Like, just speaking on that real quick, since you mentioned it, like, I mean, with that movie making like 10 million with only a quarter of a million budget, like that's
marketing.
Wild.
Really, like no marketing.
It still did better than Red Notice. And I don't think it was surprisingly in my theater because usually it never is. But like that's just bad, bro. But I mean,
the thing with Red Notice though, again, is just like all of the Rock brings to the table. You've got like Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot in this, and it should have had a bit it should have had something. But then again though, with Knives Out, there has been maybe a more concerted marketing campaign, but it's only in theaters for a week, and Netflix is like, well, let's put it out there, probably for awards consideration, and the fact that that's going to pull in $12 million estimated by the end of its first 8 days, that's pretty insane. I'm still going to try to find time to go see it, probably on Sunday night if I can, to go check it out. So there's that. Let's see. Okay, we got a couple more little things to get to.
Did you get to Rationals?
No, Rational. I'll tell you what, I'll get to yours. Can you send me that article on Twitter and I'll bring it up. We'll look at that one there. But I know I know it's GFR and everything else. But there's all that. Let's see here. Moisture saying, have I seen Werewolf by Night yet? It's so good. I'm actually watching that tonight. because it's only 40
Frickin'
minutes.
Finally.
I know. And I watched the Guardian. I was gonna watch it today, but it's like the kids. We watched Guardians, and then we had to go run errands, and like it was whatever.
I prefer
and then I'm like,
the Guardians over Werewolf by Night.
They're
like,
both
to be
good
honest.
though.
They're both really good. They're both really good.
I just like the practical effects and that. I mean, Werewolf by Night is, it's all right in my perspective. I mean, I heard great things about it, then I watched them. Like,
probably what I would argue my biggest complaint about about Guardians is that to me it felt like the aliens' costumes felt fake. Like Groot felt so fake. Like guy in suit, rubber suit bad.
Well, here's the funny thing though.
Yeah, I can see that.
Scott said that was all CGI because you were asking, was it a practical effect? He said no, it's all done by ILM and WED or whatever.
That's bad. I mean, I totally thought it was a suit. This is like the first time I'm hearing about it because I totally thought it was a suit just how bulky and just looks like it's like a. It looks like do you know how like the Disney or Universal parks, like they have the Transformers suit and costumes and shit? It felt like it was like that, but for Groot. And I'm like, oh, now it's CGI. Like, I don't know. I feel like, it's different. I feel like it's obviously the budget's different. It's not gonna be like, it's not like a feature film,
Yeah, it's a little bit. I mean, like I get that, and I feel like they shot it on the back of while they were doing, while they were doing Guardians 3. But like it also like I had a short shoot schedule, and they were able to do it pretty quick, and it was good for what they did. It was great for what they did, and Kevin Bacon, like the fact that Batman makes a reference in that, and also Superman made a reference in Eternals is really funny. Mm-hmm. That they've referenced the DC's like two of their biggest characters, showcasing that they're fictional
in their world, yeah.
But you gotta love it, showcasing that they're fictional in their world, right? Like, no, they're not real. They're not like Iron Man. He's real, but Batman totally fucking fake. So you got to get a kick out of that a little bit. I thought that was pretty funny. But all right, there. Let me just kind of move on here. Still no, my son Hunter.
Oh, is that about the? Oh,
that's about
gosh.
I mean, that's gonna come up again once. I'll probably wait until the house takes over on that one.
I mean, true, but like, I mean, I guess it's gonna have a little more weight considering that they literally doing an investigation. Like, as Republicans take over, they do investigation. I'm like, bro, I don't know. The dude's a fucking druggie. Who gives a shit?
He's like all that's gonna come out of that is people
shitty, dude. Like
he's not even a politician. He's the son of a politician.
Well, yeah, but they're putting it like as like investigation. It's like this is about Joe Biden. They made it very apparent that it's about Joe Biden, but of course it's it's his son. So it's like my thing is like, I get it, like, but like all politicians are just shitty. That's like my thing. That's why I just find this whole thing funny. It's like they're trying to act like they have the moral high ground. Like I don't like any of them. They're just all shitty. They're all shitty. And it's all about parties, not about helping people. I don't care.
Yeah.
There you go, Jimbo's spicy political takes.
There you go. There you have it, folks. Yeah, Garrick here says My Son Hunter was directed by Jake Fatelli from the Goonies. Yeah, Robert Davi. It's to me it's fucking hysterical. Like it's just crazy shit how politics is getting. All right, so there was the other one here from Lewis here. Thank you, Lewis, by the way. Will Apple buy Disney? And if so, what if that happens? I don't think Apple's gonna buy Disney, if I'm being honest with you. I know
the Disney insiders I don't know. They're saying something's going on.
Well, there's been speculation from the Wrap. That's where that whole thing originated from.
Yeah,
there's speculation from the Wrap.
People inside Disney who know the company or something.
And well, it might be a thing. It might be something that they want. I mean, look, why would Iger needs to find a successor, and we all think that's going to be Peter Rice. But at the same time, like selling it to Apple feels like he's just pawning it off, and that will destroy the legacy. He'll be the guy. He'll be the last CEO of Walt Disney.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Disney as a corporation, like the board would never approve that. I don't think because they don't like the idea of Disney being owned by someone else.
No,
they like to be like an independent company like that.
No, I don't think they should. It sucks that they just can't find the right guy for the job, and Iger clearly is that guy. he just needs to basically like mold someone for it, like kind of get someone ready for the role and basically be Iger 2.0. That's how
probably gonna be Peter Rice. That's probably what's happening.
because like I mean, Chapek, like Iger thought it was good, but then he just turned into like the fucking
I'm telling you guys, I don't think Iger would do that. I don't think Iger would sell to Apple. I just don't. I think he's coming in to prevent an Apple takeover, if you want my honest opinion. I think he's coming back in because there might be talks about Apple maybe making a move, but it also doesn't fundamentally make sense for Apple to purchase Disney. What would they do with the theme park division? What would they do with a cruise liner division? Yeah. What would they do with the like everything with the parks, the hotels, the cruise? They're a tech company. What the fuck would they do? They would do nothing.
They don't have any business, bro.
They don't know.
Apple TV is extent. Apple TV is extent. Granted, they have great content, but now but if they want to buy Disney, I don't even think that this is a logical approach. I think it's honestly just some news to cover because like it doesn't make any sense from just a common standpoint. Like, why would a tech company who only focus is basically about making products that we've all like iPhones and shit, and they of course have like a small or at least a decently well run Apple TV. Like, why would they get into the theme park business and all the other stuff that Disney handles? Like, that would be insane. I don't think Tim Cook, who's Apple CEO, would even know what the fuck to do if Apple bought it. Like,
yeah, they don't really need to buy it. That's the other thing as well.
They don't need to. They shouldn't.
For them, it'd be kind of interesting to see what would happen. But
does Apple want to run theme parks and cruises?
No, they don't. They want to hire 6-year-olds in India to build fucking iPhones. That's what they want. Because their tiny hands make it easier to.
I know Apple wants to get into the content creation game, but like they would buy a much smaller studio.
I mean, what would they do? Would they buy Disney and then sell off the theme park and then sell off everything else?
Well, because you can't do that because then it loses all that magic. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I don't think they would ever sell.
Well, I mean, Chapek kind of fucking kneecapped that magic a little bit.
Oh, I know. That's what Iger's trying to capture back. That's one of the biggest things of why he came back.
Yeah. Well, okay. Moisture makes a good point for 5. Thanks, you, buddy. It says, to be fair, Comcast is a telecom company, and they bought into theme parks when they purchased NBC Universal. That is true, and they've actually done quite a bit with Universal to make it a much better customer user experience. I was watching a tour of the Harry Potter world in Universal Orlando yesterday, and today I watched a video. Same guy was in like New York at a Harry Potter themed store, and I was like, God damn, dude, like this is some cool shit. Dude, I would love to go see this, man. Like it'd be pretty cool to see, and it's like, I don't ever get that vibe coming out of Disney. I mean, they fucked up Galactic Star Cruiser. I'll tell you that.
Dude, I sat in line for 2 hours at was it like the Escape from Gringotts or whatever it is at Universal. All I have to say is I only went on it because my mom really wanted to go on it because she likes the 3D rides because she can't stand roller coasters. But like, as always, it was kind of a roller coaster to an extent. Mm-hmm. I mean, you drop down and you couldn't see shit for a little bit, but it's like, even like waiting in line, they put so much effort and like building the environment. They have so many cool things around. I just was like tired of it. It was like 2 fucking hours to go on a ride. But if we bought like, the fast pass, could have gone on it twice. Which I'm like, next time if you want to go on this ride, buy a fast pass. That's all I said. But they have amazing rides.
A lot of people suspect at this point that Iger is going to drop the prices at Disney. To get more people in the door, which he should, and then we might consider going. We've priced it for a family of 4. It's fucking insane. Reed here says, do you think Iger will change Galaxy's Edge? I think he was still there when it launched. Maybe he'll do something with that. Whoever the fuck they get in for the parks division better be a fucking visionary.
Isn't there a VR thing they've done for like PlayStation or Meta Quest or something like of Galaxy Edge? I know I saw.
Yeah, they made a VR game about it. Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's, an important business decision as well. Market it for more.
Dalton thinks I got a 401k. Fuck, dude. I'll be doing this till the day I keel over. Are you kidding me? I don't know. I don't got a 401k. Dude, I'm a YouTuber, man.
Bro,
we don't make enough for retirement.
Is from Warhammer Warhammer. What's that?
At this
Warhammer
point, my
phone?
401k is command unit and Warhammer. You know what I mean? Like literally. Other than that, dude, it's like, no, I ain't got no I mean, I would love to get to that point to be able to start putting away into a 401k or putting away for retirement down the road because I'm 40 and everything else. But dude, it's like the content creation game right now to go full time is so fucking difficult at this point. It's really, really, really just, it's not that I'm complaining about everything. It's literally just like that. So it's like, that's where you've got to just retool and adapt and evolve. Otherwise, it's just, you're sitting here, you know, bitching about stuff, which we will bitch about stuff because that's kind of the whole point of
you
tonight.
just have to be accused of cheating in a video game and you'll make it big, because that's literally like how this COD streamer Nadia has made it big, and
there we go,
making a living. Just like,
you know, that's how Gamergate started, right? People accused the girl of cheating on her boyfriend, which she did do.
No, but like she's
then,
like,
you know,
there's so many clips of her. Like, she literally killed a guy who was trying to make a YouTube video of how to use a VPN in Warzone, and she killed the guy in the game. Which, like, it's like basis, but like that's like her whole career. It's just built on negativity, which I just think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't. Well, you know, we'll talk about that too after we get through some other stuff. Yeah, Ralph Double Tisser says yes. DSP is secretly rich, dude. Listen, man. I love, dude. I think about movies all day. I think about ways to talk about movies all day. It's just like, it's hard. It's fucking hard. You go on YouTube and it's just like, a lot of it is going to be stuff like this right here. You know, this is Ryan Kendall's video. Marvel took his manhood. They CG, you know, they downplayed his balls.
Why
like
does
they
he
down.
care?
Why does he care? Exactly. Why does he
matter?
fucking care?
Like,
well, we're
so
gonna take a look at that
story?
video. We'll watch. It's really short, but you just see the craziness of it. Like, because that's the thing is these guys are like this. Everything is woke. Everything is political. Everything is SJW, and they've got to point it all out. I mean, this is Gary at this point in time. We know that.
Dude,
We
no.
absolutely know that. We know that that's what's going on. That doesn't fucking change. So it's like, but when you do this, it ends up being like, it's like you have to like either try to get access. I mean, look at the whole situation with Soups. Soups was furious. He didn't have access. And he was furious at anyone who had access. That was those elite things that came out. Like, I don't have any fucking access.
Like
and
other
shit.
DC YouTubers who don't have access to Zack Snyder, kind of like that.
Well, and we'll get to that too. We'll get to that as well. But I'm just saying, like, but that's a big part of it though. That's a big fucking part of it is like, with this stuff, you either have to be super fucking negative or you have to spend all day, every day online searching for news. And then you got to package it in a way that is going to make the rounds algorithmically speaking. And nowadays, if you're not covering cape shit or fucking franchise stuff, like you got to be doing hardcore like horror, which is actually something I've been considering because horror is just a lot of fucking fun.
Oh, dude, I would love to do shit with you on horror because I like personally, like I love like superhero movies, but horror is probably like my favorite genre considering that there's so much range you could do with horror. And especially like I put like horror and thrillers kind of like in the same boat because they both use elements from each other. And obviously X is one of those prime examples, and same with like the Ari Aster horror movies as well, like Midsummer and Hereditary. So it's like,
well, Ari Aster. You're thinking of Ari Aster.
Yeah. He's the one.
Ari Aster has been, you know, he does elevated horror, and fuck elevated horror. I think it's so stupid, to be honest with you. But what? It's stupid. I don't need elevated horror. Like, I mean, T.I. West's X is not elevated horror, but it is slow burn horror, and that's definitely something that a lot of people are gonna have some issue with. But all right. No one talks about Westerns anymore. I mean, when a good Western comes along, people will talk about it 100%. We just also, by the way, guys, hit fucking 100 viewers. Please smack the like.
Smack it like Rihanna.
Smack it.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Hey, I just
listen, man. We ain't no Chris Brown up in here. What the fuck?
I don't. Hey,
What the hell was that? Like, bro.
it's gonna give. I
Time
like
and place, man. My
no,
goodness.
it's perfect. It just fucking derailed everything. I like giving, like fucking with people. All right, I don't condone that. Okay, I just want to make that clear. It's just a fucking, you know, everyone keeps saying smash and smack the like button.
Yeah, no,
like,
listen,
bro.
Rihanna's a national fucking treasure, sir.
Yeah, you
national
can't call
treasure.
Rihanna like that. What the
Yeah,
hell?
what is that shit?
All right,
Fucking hell.
guys. Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you guys when I'm uncanceled. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Here we got. This is one of the first super chats earlier in the night. Rational brings up $2. Thank you, buddy. Says take with a grain of salt, but giant freaking robot says that Dread 2 is happening. He sent me the article here. So it says exclusive. Dread 2 with Carl Urban back in development. Listen,
Yeah, I call bullshit.
I'll tell you this right now, man. Don't give me hope.
Yeah,
Don't give me fucking don't give me hope.
I don't want to be.
Don't do it. I don't want it.
Last I heard though, wasn't the rights weren't there like rights issues with this?
No, they're owned by Rebellion. You know the company that makes fucking Sniper Elite?
Oh, yeah.
They own the rights to
Sniper
Dread.
Elite's
They
great.
own the rights to Dread. They own the 2000 AD publishing line. So they own it. Like they own it. And they were supportive of the last movie. They were supportive of that. People have been like, make another one.
Okay, but Sniper Elite has gone downhill. Like I
Oh yeah, dude. Number 5 was.
I didn't even play. I stopped at number 3. Number 3 was a shit. I got the collector's edition of that. Then 4 came out, and then 5. I'm like,
I
come
don't know
on,
what they're
man.
doing. I've lost interest like halfway through those
stupid,
games.
bro.
Like because number 5 was on Games Pass. Like when it launched, it was on Games
That's
Pass.
when you know it's fucking horrible. When a game like that gets put on Game Pass, that's when you know it's just horrible. And I just straight avoided it. 4 was like okay.
Well, no, there's been some good like Weird West is on Games Pass from Devolver Digital. Really good.
Yeah, I would
but-
say it's because the game launched on Game Pass. Me, it's
Yeah,
bad.
like Pentiment.
Okay,
I'm
but,
hearing
like-
good things about Pentiment on Xbox Games Pass. Fucking no.
Okay,
I
what
get
about-
what you're. I get what you're saying, but
it,
you know,
it went from being not on Game Pass to now being on Game Pass. That's kind of like what I'm getting at. Like that's kind of like a telling sign. Like I mean, I had high hopes for Scorn, and that was coming right to Game Pass, but then it just turned out to be what everyone did not want. Just a giant, like, somewhat horror puzzle game that
I thought that's all it was. Like beforehand, I didn't.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
mean,
know.
Yeah,
much
no
about
one
it.
was expecting much from it, from what I remember. It was
I
more
just remember,
I don't
yeah,
know.
people
The
people
marketing
were
kinda
talking about
confused
it,
me a
but
little
like
bit.
I'm kind of like removed from a lot of the gaming stuff right now. Like I just really am. Also, look, can I just quickly point out? You see this here trending on Giant Freaking Robot #1 article. See Megan Fox in a sexy see-through mesh dress. How is that news?
It's not. It's clickbait.
It's not.
that's
It's
just
clickbait.
This shit's all over Facebook, dude. Like
Sexual
all
it
over
is.
Facebook
Facebook.
news. It's
Look
all
Look at the
over
second
that
one.
stuff.
Look at the second one.
Yeah, see Zendaya in an unbuttoned shirt in the desert. I've actually seen that image that was floating around Twitter. But yeah, it's just like I hate this shit. All right. So, is there anyone here? Okay, I just want to see like where it says okay, coming back. Okay. Okay, now through our trusted and proven sources, we can report that Dread 2 is moving forward with Carl Urban. All right, what do their trusted sources say here? It's just all bullshit. All right, it's all the same. It's the same thing they always say. Okay, it's not often that a reboot is seen as a better version than the original movie, but that is not the case for Dread 2012. Earl came into the role of Judge Dredd in a big way, making a lot of people forget about the Stallone-led 90s movie. That's not to say Stallone was terrible in that role, but Dread 2 moving forward with Carl Urban is a far more exciting thing to think about. I mean, like, yeah. I like the 96 Judge Dredd movie. Like, it's not like it's a campy movie that I have fun with, but all people want is a Dredd 2. And, but the problem though, is that Dredd did, what was it? Like it cost $50 million, to shoot. And it just didn't wow people. You know what I mean? Like when it came out.
Which is so disappointing. It's such a great movie. I don't know.
Such a great movie. Fucking one of my
I
all-time
haven't seen
favorites.
it in a while, and I honestly should probably get another watch because you guys have been hyping it up, and I don't remember shit from
we
that
all love
movie.
Dread. We all love Dread. All love it. It's good. It's amazing. That's the one I would say if you're ever going to see a movie in 3D, see Dread. Like literally, if there's ever a revival screening, and it's been 10 years, I don't know why Lionsgate wouldn't just find a way to put it through a Fathom event to do a 3D screening of it, because that's the only movie outside of Avatar I would ever recommend seeing in 3D. Only movie I would ever recommend is Dread. That's it. Seriously. Other than that, I would never do it. Yeah, Ryan here says Dread is so good. It's a shame it bombed. It just always just tugs on the old short and curlies. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's annoying as fuck. But all right, here. So why don't we? One thing I want to get to today is I want to bring up this Twitter space. RJ, you want to lead us into this Twitter space, into this?
Oh,
This
we're
whole
doing it now.
situation?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll do
All
that
right.
now, and then we'll a couple little things to check out at the end. I just want to, because this camera's only got maybe like 30 more minutes of juice left, and then it's gonna die.
Okay, so God, so much has happened the last couple days. I don't know where to start. So
Yeah. So
RJ's
quickly
famous.
fill everybody in, like a two.
So
like
basically, what happened was that there was a situation where James Gunn was liking certain tweets and kind of being very active on social media. He debunked a Gigasti article, which Mikey said in Rome put the headline out about a contract, which Matt, you made a video about, correct?
Yes, I did, and
Okay.
I debunked the contract myth.
Right.
So
So basically, James got called out that contract, but especially they got really upset about that, especially that he's liking certain tweets of mine. Um, so today, Syl did a space with Skywalker the Jedi at the Cool Table, kind of addressing the James Gunn situation. And I literally don't have timestamps because I told you, Matt, like all of it was gold because all of it was just
yeah.
absolutely insane. So we could literally
So
listen to any of this, and it'd be
so
great.
this space is 2 hours 36 minutes. We're not going to react to all of it.
No.
But if you ever want to know, when we bring up these guys and how crazy these guys are, you just got to like listen. Yes, that's right. That's right. Shiny here says, you mean Skeet Walker.
Yes, thank you.
That's pretty funny.
I think Skywalker's pretty funny because like I know he's very serious with like his like his topics and his criticisms about certain things, but like none of it has any substance. Like even when they're reacting in like a 4-part fucking series of RJ's Twitter Spaces like last couple months ago, like nothing
Yeah.
was of substance to it. It was just all fucking. It was dumb. It's like, bro, if you're gonna react, at least like bring something to the table or like build upon it. It's like all they do is just laugh and like make jokes and shit. It's like, bro, like that's like how you
So
know they don't have.
I just want to
fucking
give a
anything.
good lead way into this too. During the space, you will hear about how they legitimately think James Gunn is watching them, that he was in Skywalker's chat, and that James Gunn may be infiltrating Sil Nation or whatever. I don't know. Let's just play this shit.
All right.
I'm gonna find a
DJ
good.
spin that shit.
To him being on board, right, as the co-head. But no, this is totally soured my relationship with this guy, because I feel like he needs to grow up and produce something before he is on Twitter trying to expose people.
So yeah, their biggest
Oh
their
my
biggest
God.
thing is that they think that James Gunn spends too much time on Twitter and that he is being irresponsible and dangerous attacking Mikey, and that he needs to focus on making movies and not engaging on social media.
Yeah.
That's their argument, their main one.
All because he debunked their fucking shit. And
Yes,
it's
basically
like
yes.
it just sounds like a bunch of whining, crying that like the guy who's running DC now and is supposed to give them what they want is like debunking their claims and is like destroying their credibility. It's like, dude, like this is like I'm sorry, like I don't need to listen to this whole thing just to know that they're gonna sit and whine about that. It's like, dude, you did something wrong. How about maybe build some credibility and report facts. And if you have legitimate rumors, it's just like you don't need to whine about it until say a guy who is doing PR for the studio that he's running tried to build more relationship with fans about the content that he's in charge of, and he's only been in a job for 3 weeks and they expect him to come out with like fucking like a whole line like, all right guys, here's like the next 3 movies, you're getting them next year. It's like, dude, guys trying to fucking handle the
what
whole
I
mess of
love
DCU
about this,
right now.
what I love about this whole thing with these guys is that like they're upset because they think that James Gunn is dogging them, which he did, and then they think that like, oh, he should be working on his Bible versus trying to, instead of going on Twitter and like exposing people because they're mad because they're mad because they got called out. What's funny though is yesterday Sil ran a stream about The Rock, right? Looking at what The Rock had said. in that little video, and they're like, he knows what's going on. Like The Rock knows like The Rock has no fucking idea.
Well, they think that he's running damage control for James Gunn, which will get brought up later in the space as well. They think that The Rock had to come out and do damage control for James Gunn because he ruined relationships with the fandom by going after Geekosity. So, just wait.
This is my thing, because I have some mutuals, and these are people that's in like journalism and things like that, and I guess they were sources and stuff before, and they love James Gunn, right? And I told them like, yo, it's nothing personal that I'm trying to attribute to James Gunn, but I'm saying that action right there is very irresponsible to try to quote unquote dunk on Mikey Sutton and Geekosity. And you know how these trolls are going to look at that on Twitter, right? So that person of influence.
Is it irresponsible on James Gunn's part for debunking rumors and speculation and quote unquote scoops, or is it irresponsible on their part for giving people false information and just random fucking shit that they think of in the morning?
Oh no, but they explained that, Jimbo. They explained Mikey didn't do anything wrong. He was reporting on someone else's report.
It's just very apparent. Like, I don't care.
But he added words. He literally added a word that was not mentioned anywhere, and that's what James was commenting on. And they're like, "Whoa, man!" But it was small screen. It was small screen who did that. It wasn't us. It was small screen.
I don't care who did it. Either way, like it's like, how is it his fault when he sees something like that? Because you got like their whole platform is around DC and giving scoops. That's like their fucking breadwinner. And when the guy who's running the fucking show calls out and says, "Hey, this is not true. Like, I don't know who's telling you this," and they get all butthurt and blame it and say it's his fault for going after and doing this stuff. It's like, what are you doing? That doesn't make any sense, and this is like a horrible angle to take. Like, say like, yeah, we report, like, what they could have done is be like, hey, we're reporting scoops. That's what we do. We hear things and we report it. Whether it's true or not. That's apparent.
Well, that's literally into, like, you can't say whether it's true or not. That ruins your business model.
Oh, but
you have to basically say this. Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot that there's credibility within scoops. I'm sorry, forgot about that.
That's just like me, in a sense. I don't want to say like punching down like Mikey's nothing, because let's keep it very real with GeekosityMag.com. That's a top 5 geek site worldwide right now. So let's keep that real.
Is it?
No. You got a lot of insignificant people not realizing the numbers that Mikey's actually doing. But I digress on that. But what I'm saying is that if I pick on someone, an account that's deemed, lesser than a Sil Abdul brand, that wouldn't be fair, right? If I say, "Oh, you're a liar," and then all my followers, Sil Nation, will get him, right? So it's like, James Gunn.
They were saying that all up in. Still, how many times did they bring that up in that space, right? "Oh, Sil, you shouldn't say nothing back." Right? "Oh, you should just let them say whatever." It's the same thing.
Well, I think it's very clear. Everyone I talk to in that spaces are clowns, right? I think everybody realizes, right? Everyone realizes that those were stacked odds against me, but somehow my platform grew after that, right?
And James and they DMs.
So that is what it is, right?
So you see how it's like the typical shit. Like, I mean, like, that's kind of like where it is. Like, these guys are clowns. These guys are this or that.
Well, yeah, like, so to be fair, in the last month, Mikey Geekosity Mag has gotten like 1.3 million hits, right? According to SimilarWeb. Let's see here. What do you think a site like Collider might get?
3-4 million?
31.
Oh. So how are they top 5 geek site worldwide?
Yeah, exactly. What do you think a site like ScreenRant might get?
I'm gonna say 80 million.
104.
Wow.
104 million clicks.
I
right?
mean, that's still. I mean, like,
now what about Slash Film? Slash Film, 9.8 million.
Okay.
Let's see. Comingsoon.net. 3.7 million. Okay. I'm just pointing out, like, let's look at, we got this covered. 17.7 million.
So wait, is this in a day or just overall?
This is no, not in a day, over like this, like a month. This is their September
Oh,
numbers.
like across a period of a month. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, still,
and then
it's-
even Deadline.com, 28.2 million.
Okay, but like my thing is like, yeah, obviously that their whole thing about being top 5 or top 15 or whatever the fuck they said is
Well,
obviously wrong, but still,
they're
it's
saying
still
geek,
good numbers,
they're saying geek
though.
site though. They're saying geek site. All right. So like, but again, that's such a varied thing. You know what I mean? Like compared to like, let's say the Illuminati and Murphy's Multiverse, that actually gets less than Geekosity Mag. But, you know, but those are also, again, I guess you could argue scooper sites or whatever. You know, so I'll look at We Got This Covered because they generally tend to be in the same sphere. So comparatively speaking, let's see, there's like NME.com, which is another site like that. They get 15 million clicks a month. I mean, just in comic book resources, how about that? That's geek related content, right? 47 million comic book resources, CBR.com. Comicbook.com gets 22.5 million. Let's see, Giant Freaking Robot here, 17.7 million. Them and We Got This Covered pulled in roughly the same amount of content, the same amount of traffic on that one there. Same with Cinema Blend. Cinema Blend is 17.8 compared to 17.7. Right. What I'm talking about here is like, no, comparatively speaking, in the geek space, that's not even remotely accurate. Now, is that to say that they don't have an audience, that they actually don't get, you know, that they actually don't get traffic? No. They do. They get traffic. They do. There's no denying over 1 million people, but it's like where they come from is kind of fascinating, right? Because let me see if I can actually bring this up here again. If I find traffic sources, this is all based off of whatever, you know. So they come in from where do they get it from? Okay, similar sites. I mean, like they do better than similar sites, but for the most part, though, apparently to the bigger channels, they simply don't. But they get most of their, it looks like their traffic. They get most of it through people actually maybe Googling Geekosity. But I think what it is though is, again, when I talked about the contract angle, right? When Mikey puts the title of the article 3 times in the article, that's what's going to rank with Google. You know what I mean? And like, so the headline is going to rank with it. It's like Superman contract TV appearances are all in the same thing. So it's like, those are keywords that are going to pop up in people searching Superman contract. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get you.
So it's like, it's using that all the way, but on Twitter, not much.
Yeah.
Facebook probably gets a fair amount, and it probably gets it from a lot of international outlets as well. So they get a lot of international traffic, I believe. Anyway, let's continue with this because, you know.
Play, damn it. Come on. Play. Hold on. I gotta refresh the page. Sorry.
The problem that's the problem with the spaces.
Twitter
It is.
saying no.
I don't typically play it on a desktop either, which is kind of the problem.
Rational here says, what, Enosh and Chris from Ping Pong Flicks are on the vodka stream. Cool. We currently have more viewers in the vodka stream, but that's not uncommon.
Yeah. I'm on. I gotta back up. So here we go.
Okay.
Mikey Sutton's information, then you're disqualified from this conversation. You're literally just disqualified because it's 1 + 1 = 2. Y'all jumping over to, I don't know what y'all doing in y'all brain just because y'all don't like Geekosity, Mikey Sutton, or I guess myself. Somehow him debunking a website, somehow that debunked me. And we'll get to that in a moment.
Pause that right quick. Sil Abdul has tied his wagon to Geekosity Mag now for well over a year.
Mm-hmm.
He is as fundamentally connected to that website as literally anyone can be. You know what I mean?
They're partners. They're partners.
They are actual partners on this shit. And so you got to love, but every time something comes up that gets debunked and it gets kind of thrown back on him, he will deflect it off to Mikey. Well, I didn't say that. Mikey said that. I didn't do this.
Like
Mikey
the
did that.
like the air cut.
The air cut stuff, yeah, and all the other things. Because this is why to me it's always really fucking funny.
Well, it's like throwing them under the bus. I feel like too.
Yeah.
So
First off, but we're gonna get to that in just a moment. Yeah, go ahead.
So, real quick, I think half of us can't see the tweet because RJ probably got us off.
You blocked everybody, RJ? Okay.
Oh yeah, because
So I'm gonna relate to them, RJ.
I was just about to say that.
I'm gonna relate to that. And you're welcome, RJ, since you have people blocked, you're welcome to respond, and I will relay this to the conversation. But let's keep it real right now. What did James Gunn debunk? Calling Mike. James Gunn has had interactions with Mikey Sutton several times before. Mikey says he has even more. He could have had even more screenshots of the interactions with himself.
Pause that. Those screenshots are from 2017 when Mikey had responded to James Gunn on Facebook and Gunn had liked comments that Mikey had put. James Gunn will very frequently post. He'll read through comments on the different outlets that he posts on, and he will respond, or he will give a thumbs up emoji.
He has done
or something
that to me
along
on
that.
Twitter multiple times within
He's
the
done-
past year. So
he's
I
done-
mean, I don't think it's
exactly.
anything special.
Exactly.
Shit. Hey guys, I'm friends with James Gunn. He liked my post.
I know, and this is the mentality that they're in.
It's hysterical.
So for James Gunn to call Geekosity, which everyone in the geek world knows that's Mikey Sutton's website. It's top 5 in the world.
Not
You
true.
got Robert Meyer Burnett shouting out Mikey Sutton on John Campia's channel. So we know who's behind Geekosity.
Well, wait,
I
he
think
didn't
that was
shout
very
it out. He just
irresponsible.
commented on it. He didn't say that it was like, go read it. He just said that the people that talk about this stuff don't read stuff like Geekosity. In the comment Burnett had made, it wasn't like championing or admonishing Geekosity. It was just referencing like, that's a site that exists, but a lot of people don't read it.
Yeah,
That's what he was saying.
I could find that clip. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's basically what it was. I'm going to continue.
Responsible. And I'm not going to say I think. That was very irresponsible of James Gunn to call a site a liar by merely them covering other sites' articles. That's what I want to make clear. I think that's clear, y'all. But am I missing something with that? Because I feel like I go to like the Twilight Zone when I got to come back to just a simple fact.
No, man. Nah.
He added words. I proved that. He added words.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, willfully obtuse. May I read his tweet? Because I'd like to know what he debunked, because I don't see it. It says, from James Gunn 3 days ago, I'm not sure if you're purposely lying or being taken advantage of by someone lying to you. But as I've stated on here before, no one knows what's happening at DC Studios right now other than me and Peter. That would include writing up any new contracts for anyone at this point. So what did he debunk? He debunked the website that Mikey was covering, the scoop that Mikey covered from someone else.
And motherfucker, the contract was signed before you came in the door, homie. What's he
Straight
talking
up.
about, bro?
Straight up.
We'll
get there.
What I've learned is that what I've
Skywalker gets so mad so easily. It's weird.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
Stop it! You're making racist comments, guys.
You don't know that the contract is signed. There was no contract signed. We know that at this point. It's like, because they wouldn't sign a contract as they're transitioning to a new president. They're
Right,
gonna
they want
wait.
the new president to go over the slate, decide what movies are coming out with the characters.
it's like
and decide it.
it's like they might have had casting for Fantastic Four that they wanted to announce, but when they brought on Matt Shakeman to direct it, they decided to like back
Let
off of
him
that
pick, yeah.
and let him be involved in the process of it. These are elements that happen in everything else.
Yeah.
learned is that it's almost like baby steps for some people, because they just want to lap back around like, no, but this, no. Okay, calling someone in the position of James Gunn, okay, labeling someone a liar when they were merely just covering two other site stories is very irresponsible. That's the point. Now, if y'all want to explain yourselves out of that y'all can throw that comment in there and we'll bring it up and we'll probably laugh at it. But you're welcome to explain that to the audience, right?
All right, so let me ask you, Matt, since he's asking for a response out this week, hours of the fact, what exactly did James Gunn debunk, and what exactly did Mikey Sutton do wrong to where James Gunn felt the need to call him out?
Okay, so Mikey was commenting on the small screen article that was written by Edward Lauder, and they talked about potential appearances on TV for Superman TV film. They did not mention contract. They did not mention really anything of the sort involving the word contract. It wasn't mentioned at all in their article. There was a video that they did on it about the potential of what Superman will be, of what Henry Cavill will be in a YouTube video, where the word contract was mentioned twice, once in the video description and once in the first 4 seconds of the video, which actually were the same text. So no mention of a contract, no mention of a new contract. We don't know. They don't know. And that's what he was saying, is that there is no contract that is signed for Henry Cavill. And we, at this point, we can ascertain that there's potentially a gentleman's agreement on that,
or a tentative agreement, or a handshake,
or tentative agreement, or some
yeah.
handshake, whatever. Like, yeah, we're going to figure it out when we get to that point. But at this point, if you go back and you look, The Rock played his hand before things were done. He, like, the way The Rock defined things, right, was that, like, they're back, they're building it up, they're doing this thing, they got him. Great, cool. But then the article came out where, like, James Gunn and Peter Safran were pitching their own thing to DC, and The Rock pitched his own thing to DC. And, Hamada exited, and then here comes James Gunn and Peter Safran that are now the ones in charge. So we don't know, what we can ascertain from that is that, well, The Rock has kind of lost power. They wanted Hiram Garcia to get on in there. Pardon. And that didn't happen. But still, Mikey added the word contract in the title of his article.
Even small screen on Twitter, we did not use the word contract. There's a tweet out there where they put that out there.
Yeah, they wanted to make sure, because Edward takes this shit seriously. And Edward's been on this program before, and Edward and I talk occasionally. And I think Edward's a really good guy.
Yeah. So Mikey's alone with that contract talk, and that was the wording that James could use in that tweet. Contract.
But they don't want to acknowledge that because, like, oh, he was just covering somebody else. Well, then he inappropriately covered somebody else.
Yeah. So Mikey's still at fault.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. And they're not going to acknowledge that because, of course, they're not going to. But I'm going to skip around a little bit.
Well, my thing is, like, they're basically just, like, for their own benefit, just taking other stuff that people reported and then just re-reporting it again.
Well, that's a
third time, and then
have you not seen YouTube? That's most of what YouTube.
I know. That's what I'm just saying. Like, I don't get it. I just like, I get it's the same thing.
I mean, I get it. It's just odd and
regurgitate what someone did. At least, like, don't do it like what they did. That's like the prime example.
Hold on, Rodney. All right, I talked about this the other night, dude, on stream. Or I talked about it in a video. No, it was on stream. The DC Civil War thing. Where do you get the Hiram Garcia stuff on? He was never mentioned in the contention for the job, but he was. What it was is, go back a year when Red Notice came out, and they started heavily talking about Hiram Garcia. Right, he's the president of $7 Productions, president of production, $7 Productions. And he's the guy in charge of everything over there. He's the one who gets films developed and then released. Right. There was an opening at DC Films. Clearly, $7 Productions is trying to get in the DC pocket. All right. DC League of Super Pets, Black Adam coming out in the span of just a few months of each other. They were clearly building up to get their foot in that door, to get a seat at that table. And when the position itself arose for them to potentially jump on in and take on this thing, The Rock was asked, "Do you want to be DC Films chief?" And he's like, "No, but I can help. I can help consult on who should be." He was clearly referring to his brother-in-law, or his former brother-in-law. He was clearly referring to Hiram Garcia. He brought him up again in that 6-minute video. This is a read between the lines situation. All right. Because that's the only power move they would have had, is you get Hiram Garcia to take over DC. If Black Adam would have been $100 million opener, Hiram Garcia would have been the one in charge. I'm just telling you that right now. Like, that's completely how it would have gone down. All right. And they would have done it like that because that would have been like, okay, obviously people are backing The Rock. They want to see what Dwayne brings to the table. They love this kind of stuff. Let's make this what we go for. And that's the angle they would have played. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. The movie just didn't do it.
Mm.
So they went another direction, and they probably were always going to go another direction in some respects, because I think James Gunn was brought in like as kind of a last minute thing, because the reason why I say that too is Black Adam dropped the 21st of October, right? And then 5 days later is when James Gunn and Peter Safran were announced as the new head. Hamada finished getting Black Adam out the gate, and then he exited the company, leaving that power vacuum that needed to be filled, obviously with someone internal. And with the company, you got Dwayne wants to work with DC, and he's been hyping up this plan, hyping everything up, hyping it up for years. Zaslav wanting someone that they can relate to, but The Rock wanted to put Hiram where in charge to back their Bible, to back their play, to build that up, and it failed. It just didn't work out, and so that's why The Rock hasn't. And again, my opinion, why The Rock hasn't said congratulations publicly. I mean, it's all, you can look it up. You can just look it up, man. Like I've talked about this multiple times. Like I'm not saying, I'll reiterate it all the time. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
there's a couple more clips here. I don't want to spend too much more time on this. This is like one segment I typed. It was pretty funny.
It feels very unfathomable. Like the information, it's like, wait, hold on. You're serious that James Gunn might be conversing with lanes? What?
So before I got my sleep and trying to make me feel like the people should be uncertain of Henry Cavill coming back when this dude had already said he coming back. Come on, man.
I know what Scott's ready for. Okay, so we're gonna get to. Let me make a statement real quick. Let's get to this next phase here. So man. Again, because I think we made it very clear what Mikey Sutton was covering in his article, which is a common practice for all geek sites and trades to cover other sites, right? And they put their spin on the story. That's what Mikey Sutton did. He said he's expecting Cavill back, which does calls for a contract. I don't know what you think that means when Cavill's back, but okay, right? We went through that, right? So
as we established, like it doesn't have to be a contract signed just yet. It could be a tentative agreement or a handshake, but they don't want to say that. So
So James Gunn was like, "You're lying," basically saying that Cavill's back because I do the contracts, bro, in DC. That's what James Gunn was trying to imply. So now there's a lot of uncertainty, right? A lot of fallout for like a day and a half. And then lo and behold, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, from $7, was taking a drive to work Wednesday morning. And he said, yo, let me talk to y'all about, first of all, Black Adam, we doing our domestic numbers. And he even admitted in the video, our international game ain't that good right now. We get it. You know what I'm saying? It's a long game. And that's Zaza's ideals as well too. He says, you better at least make some money domestically, and it did. Now it's on digital. Black Adam on digital. I got it on Amazon Prime. Y'all buy it. Support Black Adam, all right? And then and so he's like, we still, you know what I'm saying? He's like, we're gonna get team $7
straight up.
Japan. We're gonna get a good domestic run, which may rival Fast 9. Oh, I guess that's an L for some people for some reason. Okay. So after that, The Rock's like, and I want to tell y'all some Superman news. So I'm like, what? Superman news? Like, because co-head of DC Studios said, we're unsure who's even signed right now. That's Superman.
That's not all he said.
But The Rock says, Cavill's back, and this is all on video. If y'all slow at hearing or taking the information out there. No cap, but it's in video form. He says Cavill's back, and then we're gonna build out the DC universe from there. Scott, how did you take that comment? And I know whatever you was trying to say for the last 10 minutes, go ahead.
Man, look, because we shouldn't even be here right now, bro. And then, because look, this actually starts from way back, man. Way back, yo. There has been such a push of like negative people trying to make me feel like I shouldn't like The Rock, right? This guy who I've been watching for the better part of my life, right? You know what I'm saying? ain't been known to be nothing but like a stand-up dude, take care of his business, always in shape, always got a smile, don't take no excuses. See, and that's the problem. That's why I don't like that dude. He's disciplined.
Yep.
Right? You look at James Gunn and you be like, yo, I could be that guy. I could be, right, a dude with a quirky sense of humor that try to ratio people on Twitter for no goddamn reason. You know what I'm saying? But you couldn't be The Rock. No. It take a lifetime of commitment. You know what I'm saying? Y'all try to get me to not like this dude. There's been so much of a push like, I don't like The Rock. I don't like The Rock. Why? Well, I don't like y'all. Anybody that's sitting there trying to tell me that I shouldn't like The Rock, right, for what he represents, I don't like you.
Straight up.
I'm going to look at your morals. I'm going to look at your level of discipline. I'm going to see what you're doing in your life. Right?
Bro.
For this man to have to come out and clean up this situation after the call.
I'm sorry, but just full on Rock cock in the mouth, man.
It's such a weird thing. Because, okay, for those of you who don't know who these guys are, which let's be fair, most of you don't know who these guys are. They are absolutely fundamentally touched in the head. All right. We're talking stupid is the best way to describe these people, because they listen to someone like Sil. Sil fills them with hope. They think that he's telling them truths.
Well, don't forget, Mikey has also promised them that he's going to hook them up and give them a family.
Yeah, so let me explain how that works with Mikey as well. Mikey, and it took me a while to figure this out. Actually, it took me a long while to figure this one out. Mikey loves to blow smoke up people's asses, right? Mikey absolutely loves to virtually suck some dick. And what I mean by that is when him and I would talk, I'd go oh, hey, here's the thing I'm working on. He'd be like, that's the best thing I've ever heard. That's amazing. I love it. You're so talented. He's really good at making you feel good. He's really good at sucking your dick. He's really good at that. He's really good at making you feel that way. And then, but you realize that it's all platitudes and it's all nonsense. It's all bullshit, right? He says this because you back him. And he's doing grassroots movement as a way to he's going to these smaller channels, and he's all you guys are great. You guys are brilliant. You're so funny. You're so articulate. You're so smart. I'm going to feature you on my website. He's probably said that. I'm going to write an article about how great you guys are. I'm going to write an article and show the world your stuff. I'm going to share it everywhere. He never does that. He'll tell you he's going to do it. I got the DMs of him all right. When I did my true crime stuff, he's like, I'll show your true crime stuff to me. I'll reference it on my site. Never did. He kept doing, I kept forgetting. You know what I mean? But he said, I'm going to do it. You know? Because that's what he does is he kind of love bombs you into making you feel like he's got your back. Like he's got your best interest. But in reality, what he wants is he just wants the fame. He wants the attention.
Loyalty too.
Yeah. So, Reed here says love bombing. Exactly. Right. Love bombing. Exactly. That's kind of the whole point is just it's all bullshit. It's all make believe. This is
these guys are just insane.
But listen to the rhetoric though. They literally were they run live streams. We're laughing at this because this is happening today. I had no fucking idea. It's kind of they think that if Mikey can get to the upper echelon, that he'll take them with him. Well, let me ask you guys a question because I know they're listening. What do you bring to the table?
What do you bring to the cool table?
No, not the cool table. What do you bring? What do you bring? What do you offer? Where's your value? Truly, what do you bring? You just you're gonna be a hype man? That don't work past the streets, dude. That don't work on a when you're up against a Google algorithm. You can't hype the Google algorithm. You know what I mean? You can't hype that shit. That shit don't work off of fucking social media. But when Geekosity Mag doesn't need social media, when it's able to, and it's been proven to facilitate, when during the lead up to Marvel movies, right? During the lead up to Marvel movies is when he starts pumping out those articles, and that will get into the algorithm because that's what people are searching for. And when that happens, he gets more clicks, gets more views, gets more money. Like go look at geekositymag.com without any fucking advert, without any fucking, what's the word I want to use here? Ad blocker on. You know what I mean? Like here, I'll bring it up here real quick. Okay. Just to show you how fucking bad this is. All right. I have to have ad blocker on, and I'm not a big fan of ad blocker, but this is the website when you click on it, right? Look at this one here, like father. Okay. Full on thing there. Bottom ad, BritBox there, hotels.com. You know, that's his own Dreamwalker thing. You know, like, okay, it's just ad. You know, it's just a whole bunch of ads. Like, okay, so
it's actually unreadable.
Yeah, it becomes okay. Like Amber Heard becomes year's most searched celebrity on Google. There you go, written by him. Oh, what's this right here?
Ad.
It is a full thing. All right. So prevents me. Okay. You know, again, ads pop up down here at the bottom.
The hell is that in the corner? This is like some weird ads too. On top of that,
what is this? The choice is yours. Good, naughty. Look at this one down here. Tor curve. You know, I don't even know what this is. Hero Wars or Nerd Wars? Is that what it says? It says Nerd Wars,
bro.
You know, I mean, like, oh, here we go. Good, naughty, Hero Wars. All right. Literally what appears to be a potential rape fantasy. Because if the idea there, what is your choice? She's stuck. Are you going to fuck her? Because that's her ass being up in the air like that. That's what it's for. That's what it's for. You know? It's, again, just like, I don't want to click on it because I don't want to give it a click, but.
Do it, no balls.
Okay, hold on. Let's see what this one is. Okay. It's loading up right now. All right. I don't want the cookie disclaimer on, but it's still taking forever to load. You know, like, what is this shit here? It's just, it's a fucking nothing but this. God, it's like bogging it all down. You know?
It's probably malware.
Maybe. You know, I'm just saying it's just my point, Rational, is I don't have ad blocker on. That's my point.
This is what the site looks like for most people.
That's what he's saying.
This is what it looks like.
Like you need to turn ad blocker on and functionally use this site. It's how bad it is.
That's the point he's trying to make here, that you need it in order to look at the site, which I'm like, that's like a lot of kind of generic websites. When you just Google like, I'm trying to think of, like,
well, it looks like this Hero Wars game is not at all what that advert is, because it's showing me.
It typically never is.
It never really is. Yeah, and I'm gonna
just like Raid Shadow Legends.
Well, I don't know. I haven't played Raid yet, but if Raid wants to sponsor me, I'm not against it. Even though, there's good and bad with that. But my whole point is that website is completely unusable if you're on a PC, and if you're on mobile, it's even worse. I've literally shown images of like hentai games that they market on there. And that's the whole point. 1.3, uses the Google algorithm to push people to check it out, to push all that shit. And at the end of it, what it is it's just clicking you on fucking mobile games and web-based malware, it feels like, things along those lines. That is why it's the choice is yours, naughty or nice. The girl's got her head in a vent with her ass propped up, and you're like, do I fuck her? Like,
right.
But you click on it and the game has nothing to do with that. It's like, it's all fake shit. And that's what I'm talking about here, guys. That's what I'm bringing up here. And these guys, they fucking stand that. They'll die for that at this point.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's do like a couple more minutes of it.
We're almost done. There's one more clip I want to get to.
Sure.
God damn, it's nothing again. it's like the ads, man. It's like the ads.
Yeah, Rational here says a lot of low tier sites have a bunch of ads like that. They really do. But
yeah, I mean, like, I just don't like. So Skywalker legit thinks, by the way, we're probably not going to get to this, but he legit thinks that James Gunn was in his chat because somebody with the James Gunn name was in there in his stream the other night. So he thinks it's the real James Gunn.
It's not. Jess here is right. Hot anime girls are not looking for you. Just saying.
All right, I think we're good now.
Will I read Zod Riders? No.
No, no, it's gonna, no.
I mean, like if he sends me a free, isn't it for free? Isn't
It
he
is
doing
for free. It is for free. Apparently.
Oh, right. I wonder where he's getting those quotes from, by the way. You know, I have a question
His
about where
mind.
he's
His mind.
about where. No, well, here's the thing though. In his mind, he might think it's real because somebody, maybe a person whose initials are MS, much like
you think
multiple
Mikey
sclerosis.
is the one sending him quotes.
Maybe he's the one sending him quotes because he's got the inside. Unless somebody's fucking with this guy, like that's the thing.
I don't know.
His own ideas for DC.
Gotcha. So,
And they told him to pack it up and leave if he couldn't get with the plan.
right.
Go
and
ahead, Leon. So-
that's. Thank you for saying that, and that's pretty much why I asked that question because everybody's acting like you guys are saying. Like when James Gunn came in, he came into like, DC with it's like an empty office with a bunch of comic books, and they were just like, "Can you please do something with this, guys? Please, James. Please, Peter." No, what happened was they had a skeleton plan. It was Zaslav, DeLuca, and Abdi, right? Because DeLuca's a diehard DC guy from what we've been, and Alan Horn. And thank you for saying that because there's a committee, there's a small committee that's already been formed of advisors, right? And all these advisors help to put the skeleton plan together towards a sort of an end game of sorts, if you will.
I'm sorry,
right?
I'm scrolling something and I'm listening.
Whether you want to use that as an Avengers example or just a literal terminology end game, right? Anyway,
They got a small console, bro.
with that, they needed somebody to just produce it and line up the details, like you were saying, Sil. Put story elements inside of it. And so they hired James because he was probably like, I mean, I could fucking do it. I need a job of that magnitude. I'd love to have a job of that magnitude where I can just do whatever you want. Yeah, I'll do whatever you want. That's awesome.
No, that's not how that works.
So that's why I think at first we were just kind of like, we were cool with it because Zaslav is very strict with his shit. But now, I don't know what the fuck to think now. With this guy out here he doesn't seem like he's team playing very much with the people that were there before. The Rock, who brought back Cavill, like those should be his best friends on social media right now. Not in real life. I don't give a shit what you think about real life, like what you guys do with each other in real life. But on social media, we should be thinking that James Gunn is in love with Superman and is in love with Black Adam right now. Why don't we think that?
Or promoting that for DC. So I think it's established, right? That
so basically it's bad that James Gunn isn't promoting Black Adam. I don't know. It's so weird.
It's okay. So, well, I mean, to be fair, the movie already came out, so it's before him. You know what I mean? It's before him. It's before all that. Oh, there we go. I was like cranking my neck, man. It's before all that though. Right? Like he joined up, Black Adam had already come out. He has no control over Black Adam. He has no say over Black Adam. And why would he? The movie's already been out. But what's going to happen next? Yeah, absolutely. They're figuring out the 8 to 10 year plan. Zaslav had wanted a 10-year plan, right? So like he probably went to like Peter and James are like, okay, we want to do another movie. And I have a feeling maybe the Dan Lin situation fell apart because Dan Lin did feel like the guy for the job.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
like he was just, but they couldn't figure out how to divest. He didn't want to divest from his company, and I get that. Even though it was a nonprofit, apparently, right? Like, whatever. He didn't want to divest. They fell apart. Okay, fine. These things happen. But again, in that power vacuum that I've talked about, though, it's like your choices were really limited. Nobody really wanted to run DC. That was not even. There we go. There we go. Like I said. Fucking the camera battery died. It happens. All right. But like I said, guys, like nobody wanted to run DC. Yeah. It wasn't even anything that like there was reports about that no one gave a shit about that. They're like, it's the job nobody wants. So what do? You get a producer who's also okay. When you want to replicate a Feige, you have to look to see what exactly it is that Feige does. Feige has a plan. He's got an idea. He also puts what he probably believes is the right people in charge. At the same time, he also is really good with talent relations and talent management and talent retention. And because of that, he's able to secure those actors who will stick around for a long period of time. And that benefits him Because yeah, they will get more money as time goes on because they can negotiate for that, but they're committed to the roles. So they're not always having to scramble to make, to find new actors to fill these roles and to do all this shit. It's happened a couple times, but for the most part, people are loyal because they feel like they're treated well. They feel like they're seen and that they're heard. The Scarlett Johansson thing was a big mess.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But that's, in this regard, that is a main factor about what's going on. And so you need someone like that. So what do? You go to Peter Safran, who has been a talent agent for a long time, was one of the bigger ones, knows everybody in Hollywood, has everyone in his phone or Rolodex, and has produced movies, so he understands the business. And then you go to someone like James Gunn, who understands what it is to do big budget productions, being part of a massive overall strategy, how to tie in elements of it, how to make it all work, make it all come together. And not only that, but brings a lot of humanity and nuance and love to what he writes. I watched the holiday special, and tell me if not at the end of that holiday special, you are not super fucking emotional. And you guys know what I'm talking about. The last scene in it, there's a scene between two people. I won't say who it is, but it's really emotional. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes to show you that what Gunn did was Gunn took a misfit team of ragtag, second B-list, D-list, Z-list characters
and nobody cared about,
that no one cared about. And he turned them literally into the heart of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, he knows how to make you care about characters.
Exactly.
It's really important.
And so and as much as I don't give a fuck about like the larger aspect of Superman, I'm curious how he would handle it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the point. That's what he's doing. So these little fucking hens that are hanging out in their little fucking hen house on a Twitter space for nearly 3 hours,
crying about how James Gunn needs to spend more time working and not debunking scoopers.
Exactly. It's fucking,
as if they know what he does in his day-to-day life.
Yeah, it's like, if you listen to him, he goes, oh, he wrote the holiday special in like 3 hours. Initially wrote it really quickly, and then
about a week,
and then he retooled it. But like the initial draft, the initial run of it took him a couple hours to write. And so like he gets the general idea, and then he reworks it, and he adds humanity to these characters and heart to these characters and everything else. And this is what you should want out of the DCU going forward.
Well, they don't they just don't like how he's communicating. They don't like what he's
saying.
They
don't like that they've had the spotlight on them, because it makes them look bad. And remember, when you're a hype man, when your job is to hype it up, any kind of negative shit's going to make you look kind of fucking dumb.
Yeah. And that gets into this last part before we move on.
Yeah.
Damn it. The stupid thing. I'm pissed off right now. But I hate that, man. Because it's like I have the perfect segue.
Well, that's why you gotta download those things and like just have them ready to go. So that's, I don't like the rely on, I'll download the Twitter Spaces. All right, let's bring that up there. Rational here says, Sill's fan base always has a massive meltdown when Matt and RJ call out Sill and Mikey on BS. Yeah. They don't like me. They really don't like me.
They talked
Why
about
isn't your page work
to end it? It was really funny.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, there's like a bunch of lag. I don't know if it was me or you, but
I'm hearing your end of it. It's just StreamYard. StreamYard's gonna StreamYard. But yeah, I mean, this is just who these guys are. They're a bunch of cry bullies. They're a bunch of babies.
Sorry, I don't know what the hell's going on.
I don't know. Maybe they're watching and they had Sill block you.
Freaking StreamYard, man.
Well, I mean, I can see it on screen, but
just, I'm lagging like crazy. I'm sorry.
Why is Star Wars Theory on my screen? Because we're gonna laugh at Star Wars Theory a little bit. We're gonna laugh at him a little bit. Here in a minute. So, all right.
How I gonna choose the movie? Yeah, I don't force Sill Nation to think one way, or everyone's gonna have their own opinion on this. how I'm going to move with James Gunn. I'm still going to give you a chance to put out a slate, but there is going to be some heavy scrutiny. You know, the energy you put out, it's going to come back to you. And you put out that energy against Geekosity, really in bad faith, you put that out. At your position as co-head of DC Studios, you have a massive amount of influence, of power, and you use that irresponsibly. Now, you know, you don't have to, you can act like you don't care, and that's all good. But all I'm saying, you probably created a monster in Mikey Sutton, but we'll get into that in a moment. Mikey, you'll hear from Mikey in the future. But but going forward,
wow,
I'm going to give James Gunn a fair chance. But hey, if he's coming out wrong, like Leon said, you come instead of Bat Fleck, you give me Bat Mike first. It's going to be a problem.
Oh, so if you don't give me what I want,
what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's my question. What are you going to do if you get Batmite instead of Batman or Batfleck? You ain't going to do shit. You're going to cry. You're going to weep. You're going to take fucking Midol for your cramps, right? You're going to ask your audience to send you a whole bunch of fucking tampons because you're just having a heavy flow. That's what
pretty much.
It's
he
just
got through the door, right? You know, I'm not too sure if this is true, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I kept hearing like, "Hey, James Gunn is liking, anti-cool table tweets and all that stuff," right?
Yeah,
Since James Gunn is probably new to this fandom, right? And he may not know my history with some of these situations, right? You know what I'm saying? Dude, I'm just keeping a buck. Like, yo, don't make us have to do what you're like, bro. You're cruising for a bruising right now, bro. Like you really jumping into some waters, head first without even knowing what the hell is in there, right?
So vaguely threatening him.
Yeah, what does that even mean? What does that even mean?
Don't go against the cool table, or else
you're cruising for a bruising.
You're cruising for a bruising, James.
That sounds very Chris Brown.
Like some slapping going on.
Like, dude, literally, man. Like, for people that are really influential and really move that needle, right? I mean, it don't get no bigger than Steel Nation right now. It just don't, right? So you really about to fucking sit here and turn around, right, and make me have to put you on that Summer Jam screen, dude. You know what I'm saying? And now this slate better be flawless, bro. If it's one if there's a Batmite on that shit, I promise you, I'm cooking it till the cows come home. And it ain't nobody.
I'm sorry, Scott. I know you. I want you to finish, but I want to clarify, or not clarify, just for the audience, because Scott already knows what's up. It is true. Why do you see the cool table going at James Gunn so hard? Because he has actively been engaged with tweets that were specifically cool table.
My tweet
from a toxic account. They were going at Sky or Leon or whoever's in the cool. They was going at the cool table, and James Gunn. But they was trying to big up James Gunn at the same time. So he's so blinded by wanting to appease to just random Marvel fans.
I'm not a Marvel fan.
He's basically was going at DC fans. The like is there. The screenshots is there. So I just want to make it clear to people, like, why is Sky charged up? Like, why is Leon charged up? Right. Yeah. James Gunn supported anti-cool table tweets. This is reality, right? But I just wanted to say that. I don't know if people thought you were just getting mad because of some DC stuff.
Anti-cool table tweets.
James Gunn literally co-signed.
Holy shit, they went against the cool table. My God, what will we ever do?
You want to put it out there.
The head of DC Studios. Bro, we are the DC fandom, bro.
Right.
No, you're not.
You're the ones been pushing this shit. And then you're going to sit there and get on fucking social media because of a troll account, bro? But look, that just lets me know the company you keep.
And shit like
right?
That,
so should I be surprised, bro?
Keto party.
Now I'm about to start looking into your past and the past people that you was hanging out with. Why the fuck am I surprised? Why am I surprised that now you sitting there running around with some dudes that we didn't already put the rest long time ago? Long time ago. Known trolls. Known harassers. Right?
Whoa. So known harassers, but what about them calling fucking pedo party about James Gunn and shit? That's not harassment?
No, they think that I'm a harasser. We're going to get to that in a second. Just keep listening.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm going to unblock you just to say, and go ahead, 3 tweets long. I ain't reading that shit. I don't care.
Yeah, that's the screenshot right there, Sky. The tweet that RJ was trying to brag about.
Oh, James Gunn like that?
Shit. Yeah, was that he got James Gunn to like a toxic tweet towards the pool table.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Matt, you remember that tweet, correct?
Yeah.
No. That tweet, James Gunn liked all by himself.
James, he sought it out, RJ. He sought it out. Yeah,
I didn't tag him.
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing. My goal was not to get James Gunn to like that tweet. My goal was to call out Leon the New Geeks. That was it.
Yeah.
On the cool table. He liked that tweet all by himself. I didn't push him to like nothing.
Yeah.
So, no. That's not how that went down. That's not all how that went down. So, again, these guys do not know what they're talking about. And this is what we're talking about, where it's just like this misinformation, and how they're kicking up all these conspiracy theories about James Gunn and myself now, about how we could be related, how we could be in contact with each other, because they don't know, and they're flipping out. At the head of DC Studios recognizes how toxic these guys are, and how he wants nothing to do with it, and how he's recognizing how nasty they're being. You know, this is who they are. This is who they are. You know? But let's continue.
See? Yeah, because I just knew in general. I didn't know which ones it actually was, right? Because I just kept hearing that, yo, James Gunn liking these tweets, James Gunn liking these tweets, right? And it's like, bruh, oh, so you was in my chat, right? So that is probably why.
I just want to say this real quick before you.
Jimbo, he legit thinks that he's in his chat. Oh my God. Y'all need to hear this, I swear. Again, he really thinks that he was in his chat. He really does.
Oh my God, these guys.
I know. Just keep listening, man.
Co-signed troll comments towards the pool table. Just wanted to put it out there.
The head of DC Studios. Bro, we are the DC fandom, bro.
Right.
We the ones been pushing this shit. And then you're going to sit there and get on fucking social media because of a troll account, bro. But look, that just lets me know the company you keep. Right? So should I be surprised, bro? Now I'm about to start looking into your past and the past people that you was hanging out with. Why the fuck am I surprised? Why am I surprised that now you sitting there running around with some dudes that we didn't already put the rest long time ago? Long time ago. Known trolls. Known harassers.
Wait, have they already said this?
Right? I got a screenshot too. Look, RJ Skywalker, I'm gonna unblock you just to say, and go ahead, 3 tweets long. I ain't reading that shit. I don't care.
No, I think I tuned into this earlier today.
The tweet that RJ was trying to brag about.
Oh, James Gunn like that?
Was that he got James Gunn to like a toxic tweet towards the pool table.
That's not what happened.
Yeah. See? Yeah, because I just knew in general. I didn't know which ones it actually was, right? Because I just kept hearing that, yo, James Gunn liking these tweets, James Gunn liking these tweets, right? And it's like, bro, oh, so you was in my chat, right? So that is probably why.
I just want to say this real quick before you finish. I know we wrapping up.
Why you took that shot at Mikey?
I just want to say this, bro. That's got to be the lamest fucking shit ever, dog. Come on, like I don't give it. Like you can like whatever you want to like, brother. You can be in whoever DMs you want to be in. Boo boo. If you want to roll with RJ, dog, go do you, dog. I don't give a damn. But what's lame as fuck is you're the sloppy head of DC Studios, and you're at the top right now, man. And you'd rather spend your time on Twitter. That's the stupid thing about it. That's what has me, concerned with DC. Because I'm not just angry about or not even angry. I'm not just concerned with the, whole cool table thing. That's one thing. I'm a fucking DC fan. DC runs through my veins. The very first piece of art I ever drew in my life was DC Comics related. I was 5 years old, and I was like, oh shit, because it came out amazing. I'm an artist. I draw, I paint, I do pastels, blah, 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 blah. I do all that shit, right?
I wonder if these guys realize that what they love does not
DC
love them
has
back.
been a part of
Like,
No, they can't comprehend
Like,
that.
my life since I was
are
a
they really
wee
DC
lad,
fans or just
right?
Snyder fans? Because like DC's more than just Snyder, and that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
but
They'll
just
tell
the
you
way
that they're
they-
DC fans, not Snyder
But they
fans,
obviously
so.
like aren't DC fans. It's like they're only like Snyder versus DC fans. That's pretty apparent.
that's basically
that.
about it. Yeah, they only care about one side of things, and again,
Because if they were DC fans, they would love or like accept other things. But of course,
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson's Batman came out and they were fucking all over it, saying it was gonna flop as shit. Then it wasn't a
Didn't.
flop.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, are you DC fans truly? Because if you were, you would
Wait
be
until
more
you hear what
accepting.
Sil says here, because this is the last part. That's it.
Oh, we
So
young
when
lad.
A wee young lad. So when I see a fucking idiot rolling with lames, talking shit about us, we should be insignificant to you, as well as those
Right.
idiots. As well as those idiots. They should be beneath us. Yeah, I'm just being biased here, but we should be insignificant. We shouldn't even be in your fucking radar.
But keep this real, keep it real, Leon, because it's like you're
Can't
siding with
live doing this.
like
That's what I'm
obvious
saying.
trolls, like it's obvious trolls
Right,
who are Marvel fans.
right.
We're actually DC fans who's gonna big you up if you give us proper DC.
And we were
And you
already
you
bigging them
chose
up. We were bigging them up already. Remember?
Crazy,
Right,
bro.
right.
Y'all were on my ass, picking on me,
True story. True story.
because I was like,
True
fuck
story,
that
bro.
dude.
When Gunn was announced, and like I said with with Steel Nation, I was like, let's just give him a chance. Let's just
Give
see
him a
his
chance.
first, right? Let's see his first choice, right?
Mhm.
His first decision, and he decided to side with trolls, known trolls.
Against
On
DC
social media.
fans.
Crazy.
Against DC fans, yo. At the expense of DC fandom. That's 100% what happened. 100%.
So when somebody says, why are they mad or whatever they want to perceive, is it because of DC? That's dumb. Yeah, for me, for Leon of the Cool Table, I will say it's because of fucking DC. You're fucking up the shit I like. I don't like it. It's stupid. You're spending time with lames any amount of time. One like is time that you could have been doing the slate. One retweet and an address to a fucking lame is time that you could have been spending doing something with the slate, or promoting Black Adam, or promoting Black Adam's digital release, or
Why don't you go
teasing
like some of
the future.
Why don't you go like some of those tweets, bro? Why don't you go retweet some of that shit? You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Why don't you go talk to The Rock and say, hey, Rock, I concur 100%.
And you wonder why they don't
DC
engage
Universe,
with their
baby.
content other
Something.
than being negative.
Something.
yeah.
Like, and you
He's
wonder
done
why,
nothing,
because
like-
all they do is just shit on this man for the dumbest reasons. It's like, one, they obviously laugh at the jokes when people say pedo party and all this shit. They literally like.
Oh, by the way,
are so fucking
we missed this
annoying
part,
towards him.
but
It's
Matt,
just,
they
ugh.
think that we're the people who attacked James Gunn and called him a pedo.
I have screen.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, they legit think that all of us who are supporting James Gunn now we're the same ones attacking him for being a pedo or whatever.
Like
It's
what? Like
almost
three?
like
Like
Mr.
3
West
years
actually
ago
said
or
Peter
4 years ago when
Parker.
that happened?
I
El
guess. I don't
Necron
know.
and New Geeks and Scott were all
Yeah,
laughing at
yeah.
that
That's
joke.
kind of fucking weird because I was one of the first people to come out and actually defend James Gunn when that happened, and people immediately were calling me all sorts of shit.
Oh, I remember. I remember.
4 years ago and whatnot, and people have made similar BS claims and whatever, because people are fucking stupid, So,
And again,
yeah.
I get the business side. He still has his Marvel project. Actually, two. He has the one holiday special that just came out. He has Guardians 3, which is coming out next year. So I get the business side of this, but you are DC Studios head now. Why is The Rock putting in more work than you promoting DC and the future of DCU? That's the question.
Yep.
And you're worried about the cool table.
Right.
And coming into my chat with them lame ass jokes. I know that was you, boy. I know that was you, dude. Don't
You
fucking
think
man.
there's a
That
way
was
we
him,
can
bro.
see if that was him. We just got to click on the channel itself. I just never did it.
Bruh.
Yeah.
You have to watch that replay and check that
Yeah.
Bruh. Dude, hey, you want to know? I ain't about to do that shit because I got other shit that I could be doing. Just like James.
Hey, great
So he
point.
won't verify it.
I'm about to go
He's gonna
pick
pretend
up.
that's what happened.
Yo, my suit getting tailored right now. I gotta go pick that shit up after 2:00. I got shit that I gotta do, James Gunn. I can't be on social media all day engaging with trolls.
Straight up, bro.
Unreal, man.
Straight up.
I wanted to get that
Italian
on
cut,
record.
homie.
I wanted to get that on record because I don't know
Ferragamo
if people
suit.
realize. Yeah, I don't know if people realize, like,
I got an Italian dude named Gary.
it was like a direct. It was literally a direct shot.
Oh,
at
here
the
they
food
are.
table. That's why So
Mr. West Ashley saying all that shit, and of course they're not ever gonna fucking say a word against it. You
No,
know?
of course not. They're gonna dig into this now and support it.
And West Ashley was the same guy the other day who was saying, or same stream was saying that they need to look into James's past as a way to cancel him.
And Skywalker said the same thing earlier. He's gonna start digging into James's past.
Yeah, so it's just like they are completely full of shit. But we've been on this one for a while. There's other things to move on to. A couple other things to fucking laugh at.
Yeah, I want to mention the last thing that happened. I'll just summarize. Sil said that I am a known troll and harasser, and I should feel bad. And that James Gunn liking my post and co-signing me makes James Gunn look like a horrible person.
I mean, let's take things that didn't happen for fucking 300, Alex.
Well, Matt, I mean, you know me. I harass people all the time, right?
You are a serial harasser. The things you and Saggy say to each other privately. Oof.
Dude, RJ bullies me more than Saggy does, and that's saying something.
Yeah. Listen, like, that whole space is just, like, so much coping. And, like, the funniest thing is that they don't, like, they're upset because James Gunn is using social media to, like, communicate with fans in ways they don't like. Because I guarantee you, if he was, like, tweeting something they liked, they wouldn't complain. If he was tweeting it, like, debunking somebody that they don't like, it'd be fine.
Else.
Yeah,
if it wasn't against them, they would be all for it or something like that. Like, if they, like, for instance, if James Gunn was debunking something that Matt or you said, they would be all over that fucking,
Wall,
exactly. But now it's against them. It's like, okay, fuck James Gunn. Fuck it. Why are you on Twitter, huh? Shouldn't you be working?
Well, weren't these the same people who were complaining?
Immature, dude.
Well, weren't these same people complaining that DC didn't communicate with the fans? Now that someone from DC is communicating with the fans, they don't like it. Make it make sense to me, Matt.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the bigger problem here is that what you have is a situation where it's not communicated in the way that they want. What they want is they want people like, to come out and back their side, right? They want people to come out and say, like, they want James Gunn to come out and say that Henry Cavill is Superman. Like, if look, the inevitability of Gunn doing that, because I think it's going to happen.
He most likely is, but not yet. Not until they get the contract signed and the slate figured out.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like when that happens, then they're going to be like, we called it, but like they're going to completely ignore the fact that they ran multiple live streams complaining about James Gunn because he liked one of your tweets.
Oh yeah, and they think that they're mad that he chose to communicate with me and like engage in my social media. So whatever. Yeah, but again, if you would have liked a pro Sil tweet, then they would have been like, oh yeah, go to. But listen, James Gunn knows what he's doing. He probably does not like these people very much and what they're saying and doing.
No, he's fully aware. He's fully aware of it. What you have to understand is like James understands that he gets the Snyder fandom, and he wants to ignore the Snyder fandom. He really does. He really does not have a desire to engage with them in any kind of real way. Because he'll come out and say, listen, like to release the Ayer cut and save Legends of Tomorrow. You guys, congrats on trying, but we're just not going that direction, and that got all those guys pissed off too, because they're like, what do you mean he's talking about fucking save? No one cares about Save Legends of Tomorrow. You know what I mean? And it's like, Same bullshit. Where they just, because it's not on them, the spotlight's not on them. And so then when it comes, when he's all like debunking Grace and he's calling out other people and saying no one knows what's going on besides me and Peter, it throws water on their fire and they just don't like it. And so the fact that he's consistently been doing that, and I think, if you want my honest take, I think he probably does, or he has at one point watched them. And he probably looks at social media and realizes that people like you and Yara and others actively push back on this stuff. I don't think that he would probably respond to Casey Walsh. And I say that because Casey has had some really spicy tweets recently. And the kind of tweets he should not be posting.
And here we go, real quick. I found this.
All right.
Yeah, I don't follow Casey.
This is Leon the New Geeks getting mad at James Gunn for posting a face swap of John Cena Superman.
Oh, God. Where did he post that on?
Instagram, his stories. And now he's calling him the sloppy co-head.
Oh, my God. Did you guys happen to notice the John Cena reference?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
It was all people who James Gunn knows, too.
Oh, yeah. Margot was in there, too.
Yeah, it was a whole bunch of DC people.
Oh, my God.
There was a whole bunch of DC stuff in the Marvel Holiday Special, dude. It's fucking funny.
There's also another reaction that Matt, you saw privately, but Zod Rider's reaction. Oh, my God. That was funny.
I'll put it to you guys like this because we won't show it because we've been on long enough. But Zod Rider was streaming the other night, and someone told him that there was that RJ here was being communicated to by James Gunn. And you literally it's like that meme from the Simpsons episode with the Ralph Wiggum and Lisa. Yeah, if you pause it, you can watch his heart break in real time.
Wait, are you guys serious?
He looked like he was gonna cry.
He literally you watch him just kind of die on the inside. And I don't want to be too mean. I get it. People are really emotionally invested into this stuff. I understand that. For me though, what's really fucking funny is the fact that it's like they're so emotionally invested in people who don't fucking care about them, who don't acknowledge their existence.
All this over two scoopers who probably don't give a shit about them, man.
Like at the end of the day, Sill's a hype guy who's trying to prop up Mikey because he thinks he can ride Mikey to success and not, and whatever.
And Mikey's promised them fame and fortune and a community, like a family and
Mikey is, and Mikey's done that. He's probably he's building the grassroots thing. He did the same thing Tommy Talrico did by going to smaller YouTube channels and love bombing them, showering them with attention and giving them some access to stuff that can bolster their career. They're going to become loyal soldiers. And that's effectively what these guys are doing, to the point of where it's you got Skywalker telling James Gunn, you're cruising for a bruising.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me, dude? It's like he's a fucking film director.
Again, just because he likes tweets and engages in the community in a way he doesn't like. James Gunn, you're cruising for a bruiser. You don't want to mess with the cool table.
Yeah, exactly. Spherical Man here asks, did Zach post the trolley turkey pictures here? Nope.
No.
He posted nothing. Here. He posted nothing. And I'm surprised that hasn't gotten them worked up either, to be fair. Because I thought that would have gotten them worked up. I thought that would have gotten real worked up over that. I thought they would have been all sorts of angry. Because he didn't post anything. Because he's not involved in anything.
Yeah.
That's over.
I will say this, though, real quick before we move on to, I'm definitely going to be pulling back a little bit from the constant debunking. Not because I don't want to, per se, but I feel like after James Gunn publicly debunked Mikey and Geekosity, that was the final nail in the coffin that said everything that needs to be said. So just people should know, unless something really crazy happens, people know. I mean, I'm very much a proponent of pushing out objective truth information, debunking misinformation, combating toxicity in fandoms, but I do think you have to be smart about it too. So I think at this point, James has said and communicated enough. They're a bunch of liars, and they're just clowns over there, to be honest. So
the clown table, is that what you're saying?
Yes. The clown table, yes.
You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first.
So it's going to be Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with all that. But I agree with you, RJ, about that. So in another way, I mean, look, let's kind of touch for a second on some chudwatchy shit here. So I want to get over to this real quick because this is just a short one. But Ryan Kennel has problems. Like, I mean, we all know deep down Ryan's kind of like this.
Just slay queen.
I mean, that's what he is. He moved to Florida, starts talking about slaying queens. Clearly the guy's got, it's okay. He's just got to come to terms with who he is. Because remember, folks, at this point, every Republican accusation is a confession. At this point, it's not even up for debate.
Yeah, he got really mad about Strange World having gay characters. So
yeah, he gets really mad at anything gay. But I mean, like, let's. I'm kind of curious. Huge backlash from fans. Like, no one cares. If you go into Black Panther: Wakanda Forever and you're trying to stare at Namor's junk, you might want to just admit that you like the pork sausage. You know what I mean? Like, I went into Black Panther: Wakanda Forever and I was like, damn.
I was sucked into the movie. I was really paying attention.
I will say the only real objectification I think that you could get out of that movie was like Lupita Nyong'o in that onesie,
Oh yeah.
She got some booty. I don't mean that as a negative. I'm not trying to objectify. Fine actress, great part of the movie, but it's like comparatively, because I saw photos of her from the 2018 movie to this one, and it's like she
got it going on.
And like I think she's just completely attractive. So like that's also my thing. But and her when she's speaking Spanish, ooh, that was good. That was nice. Anyway, yeah, I'm a man. Okay, I'm not objective. She's a great actress. Some women. I'm gonna say some women break your brain. RJ, have you ever had that happen to you? Like some women are so attractive to you, they just break your brain.
It's happened, yeah.
It's happened, yeah. It's just like one time that happened with my friend and Chloe Dykstra. We were at a party in LA in 2011, and like he broke her brain, and I was talking with her, and he didn't know what, like he was just kind of oogling from the side. And later on, he's all like, "How could you talk to her?" And I'm like, "Because I have a girlfriend, and I'm not gonna fuck her. So why would it impact me? Wouldn't impact me. Like, it's just, I'm not thinking with that part of my body, that part doesn't, I'm good on that front, it's just funny to me. It's just funny to me how some people are. All right. And, Jimbo, you gonna bail?
Yep. I gotta get sleep for work tomorrow.
All right. Well, get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah,
get out of here.
I will gladly. You guys are just so sickening. How dare you guys do all this to the cool table? Disgusting behavior, especially you.
Maybe
RJ.
you can join them. You got the dark side avatar to match them.
Oh yeah,
and you can cam up. So.
Oh wait, you want me to cam up? Okay, I'll turn on my camera.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Get out of here!
Is this what you wanted?
Get out of here! Get out! What are you doing?
Well, what do you know?
Surprise! And then also, don't forget.
Ow!
Jesus Christ!
I'm sorry. I still absolutely love that drop. But all right, let's laugh at Ryan Kennel for a minute.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. The media really hyped it up on opening weekend and it disappointed. Hyped it up on second weekend and it disappointed. The real discussions that are going on about.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Immediately I have to pause and be like, how did it disappoint?
We're 20 seconds into the video and he's already just said multiple untrue things.
Because it's only at 600 million. It's doing amazing.
It's
like what it is. It's like it's probably gonna make $1 billion. Like it's not. It's just
what did it do its first weekend? Like 160, 170, 180?
Like 167 or something like that.
Right, yeah. Nothing has come close this year until Avatar 2 comes out, that is. And then it dropped 60%, 60 some odd percent.
Yeah, 63, 64.
Yeah, right? Like, look at here. Black Panther Wakanda Forever rules with 67 million. She said flops with 2.2. But it's been a disappointment. God, this...
Yeah, let's move the goalpost.
I don't listen to these guys very often.
It's hard to.
It's like, so funny.
It's like you're wrong.
It takes forever to get through one of his videos because you're just like, how just ridiculous with a hard R is this guy. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Out this movie right now are getting glossed over, and it's really important that we talk about this. Luckily, some people have brought to light something that truly needs to be talked about. Why is Marvel afraid of Namor's bulge? Battle of the Bulge. Now,
but I know he's being facetious. But
the way
it's like,
he read that though.
Yeah, but it's so funny though because it's Polygon. He's on Polygon, which is a notoriously left-wing outlet. So, like, is Bounding into Comics, have they not covered this? Has Cosmic Book News not covered this? You know, I find that to be kind of funny.
now it's not talking about any of this back area right here. No, we're talking about the front, okay? This is something that needs to be talked about, and it's something that nobody wanted to. Well, we're going to do it. Look at this. Look at what they did. Look at how they massacred my boy Namor. Now, I don't really like Namor in this movie. I don't like what they decided to do, how his character was inspired. But still.
So they don't like the Mesoamerican approach to it? Like, I thought that was really fascinating.
Yeah, they don't like how they made him a Mexican.
Oh,
So,
right.
yeah,
Because they're coming to, it's just another, they're coming to take his gerbs.
Well, when they saw that it was about Mexicans trying to cross over a border, they're just like, no, we can't have that.
The fact is they crossed in unopposed. Right? They were able to cross in unopposed.
Too.
Like it didn't matter. The border patrol of Wakanda failed. It was a failed state. It was a failed experiment.
Really were not. They were like, this is unrealistic.
They dug holes. They went through holes in the water. Right? They went. That's how they got in. They literally took whales into Wakanda up a river. They
literally went underneath.
Up like a freshwater river. They took whales up a freshwater river. You know, and attacked Wakanda, and it's just like, and then went back out to sea, and no one could find it. He's pissed off because he didn't think of it first. That's what's going on here. But oh my god, all right.
You don't take away someone's manhood, and that's exactly what Marvel decided to do. They shrunk his package. They took Namor's junk and they digitally erased it from this movie because even one dick is too much for Wakanda Forever. Even one penis is far too much for the MCU. Yes, Marvel edited out Namor's bulge in Black Panther 2. Black Panther Wakanda Forever villain Namor had his visible bulge digitally removed in the movie after it was clearly changed from the trailer. Namor's swimsuit-esque costume and body have always been the subject of some controversy, and bringing it to live action was never going to be an easy task. The Black Panther 2 actor, Tenoch Huerta's MCU look has already faced some criticism from Marvel artist Mike DiDio, as he claimed himself, a 60-year-old man, might have better physique. We know that all that happened. Well, look at this. You remember this? This is what it used to look like. The first trailer, this is what we saw, right? We actually saw a little hint right there, a little hint of a bulge. You know, this is something that John Campea would go into a movie looking for, just like he looked for Tobey Maguire's dick.
But look closely at Tobey Maguire's dick.
He would be excited about something like this. Obviously, the styling of Namor's water-friendly costume means that Huerta's bulge would naturally stand out during production. Well, what did they do? Look at how they massacred my boy, all right? Give Namor his penis back. This is what it looked like originally, okay? This is what it looked like in the trailer. This is what it looked like in the movie. Look what they did to him. Zoop, zoop, completely flat, no more bulge. We talk a lot about the demasculinization of the MCU.
He can't even say that with a straight face. He can't even say that with a straight face. Like, look at him. He's so. This is the thing when you have a person doing this for show.
That's a great pause for you, by the way.
Yeah, when you have a person doing this for show, because at this point we know for a fact that Ryan does not care about any of this shit. Right?
Yeah, this is obviously a clickbait video.
It's a clickbait video. It's all like they took. I mean, because Max did the same thing, but he spent like why do you give a fuck about the dude's dick? He says the demasculization of the MCU. That's the MCU. Good job quoting Gary the meth head. Congrats, Ryan. You're a fucking parrot. You know. But it's so funny though that's where they are with this, where it's just like I have to put out content today, so I'm just going to talk about this dude's dick.
And I'll throw in some buzzwords like MCU, and that'll click the algorithm.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. But you know what? Their audience eats this shit up, dude. That's the problem. Is their audience eats this shit up. It's fucking terrible. I'm not even gonna go anymore.
A lot of people are stupid, so
Yeah. And right there, the demasculization. That's the last I can roll with this. I'm you know what? Like, I might give Max shit for like, for not finishing what he starts on that front, but at the same
only
time,
so much you can stomach.
I can only stomach so much. What's the term? Remedial with the hard R. I think a Spherical Man put it there, right? He says here, he says, how remedial with the hard R is he? Pretty remedial, right? So that's pretty much what it is there. It's so stupid. So let's get on to the other stupid bit of the night there. The last thing I had queued up, right? Let's talk about bricks. Fucking bricks.
And screws.
Bricks and screws, guys. If you don't know about bricks and screws, just check this out.
It's just whatever. It's honestly a kind of a forgettable show. Look, acting was great. The cinematography was great. The budget was great. The writing was good. But it was just a lot of little things. I mean, when we saw the camera in the previous episode, there were like screws in the wall. When we see certain architecture, it's just bricks. It's not smooth stone or sandstone or whatever it might be that was in the prequels or the originals, which kind of gives you the feel of Star Wars. The whole thing about Star Wars is to feel like it's from a galaxy far, far away. It didn't do that with this one. The guns, the blasters, they looked like actual guns. Little things like that took me out of it. I feel like it dragged on a lot in a lot of episodes that didn't need to. There were a lot of moments that really took a lot. I think my favorite part of the show is probably the whole prison.
So that's talking that is Star Wars theory talking about Andor.
Great show, good budget, good acting, good special effects, but goddamn it, there are too many bricks and screws.
Too many bricks and screws. Too many. But listen.
And the guns look like real guns, even though like all the original trilogy weapons were also based off World War II guns.
Yeah,
so.
Have you now seen like what Han's blaster, like what it's based off of? It's remedial with a hard R. It's so stupid.
Josh did make a really bad video.
Did he?
Yeah,
like how long is it? Because like if
it's longer, I'm afraid. But he goes into like the history of like what's got like Kathleen Kennedy and how bad things are for Star Wars.
These guys are crazy. But like the difference between Josh and Theory is that for as stupid as they both are, and they're both fundamentally ridiculous, Theory is a lot more organic about it than Josh. Josh is
a little more laid back. He can take a joke.
Yeah, like the truth is, fucking Josh from Den of Nerds is outright a grifter. Like he's just a grifter. I've talked to editors that have worked for him that quit because he was asking them to. He was like, "I'll pay you $20 to edit this video that takes like a couple hours to edit." And $20 is fucking nothing, at least though, when Star Wars Theory just gets when he starts crying, gets laughed at, he gets a lot of support, but I think that support's like waning after this shit. But he did post, this on his, YouTube community page a while back. What's your favorite brick? Red brick, sand brick, holy red brick, wet brick, and post a picture of himself. And so you gotta give him credit to laugh at that. Like 100%.
That's a really good meme to respond.
That's a funny meme. Yeah. So it's like, at least he plays it up a little bit. So, it's a wet brick, and then he responds in a video. I haven't seen this yet.
I've not seen this either.
I was like, all right, we'll see what we'll see what he has to say a little bit to defend himself. Cause I'm kind of curious, it's like, look, you can take the joke, but I want to know if he's seriously going to try to defend himself.
There seems to be a lot of controversy around something I said during one of my live streams, during one of the watch parties for Andor, and it was in regards to Andor having bricks and screws. Now, I like to think of myself as a OT fan of Star Wars. I've been into it since 1996, and at 32 now, it's quite a few years of being into Star Wars, and of course, having a Star Wars channel. I've really delved further into as much of the making of, the backstories, the lore, you name it, the books and all that, just as any Star Wars fan would. If anything, maybe a little bit more in some aspects, in some areas, to just do my due diligence and make sure that what I'm saying is at least based on some facts and things like that. And one of the things I really enjoy on the channel is a lot of the making of. And what comes with that is, a lot of the making of books from the original trilogy and prequel trilogy, which George was a part of. That wasn't Disney era yet. And what comes with that is a lot of Ralph McQuarrie art. And one thing I'm doing in particular myself is for Vader Episode 2, I'm having a lot of Ralph McQuarrie inspired art from Paul Bateman. And he was actually trained by Ralph McQuarrie. And a lot of the things I've learned is some of the stuff in original Star Wars that really made Star Wars what it is how Ralph was able to not have anything that belongs in our world in the Star Wars world, at least for the most part. So this really has been something that's been on my mind, and I've been thinking about it a lot from an art perspective. And when I saw those bricks in Andor, they didn't look like regular bricks that you would see in perhaps The Phantom Menace or in the original trilogy. They just look like regular bricks. And for me, that's I'm not happy about it. I didn't like it. So I made a comment, and it should have died on the live stream. It should have been there, and that's it. But, the internet does what the internet does, and they've gone to create so many subreddits, so many tweets, and turned it into a huge thing. And I kind of was questioning, I'm like, why are there so many people commenting on the latest video saying stuff about bricks and screws? And I'm like, hold on, is this turning into a thing now? So I went and I checked, and sure enough, there's just so much stuff that a lot of you guys it's funny, but a lot of you are also like very mean about, and I don't really understand. And I would just like to say, before I even go into it, I don't even know
I can actually touch upon that for a second. It's the constant shitting on the show.
I think his audience is getting a little fed up of it. Or it's just like, yeah, because the audience, like his audience, I feel like is kind of like winning a little bit and getting frustrated with both him and Josh. It's like they do genuinely like the show. It's just like, why can't you guys see what we see? Sort of like conflict. So,
well, I think a lot of it has.
Yeah, Theory, and I know people are gonna say, well, Theory likes the show, Matt. Like he thinks it's okay, but he still has like a lot of criticism, which is fine. But like, it's such nitpicky bullshit. So.
Well, it's the part of it is Josh saying, I'm not going to do any Star Wars content while Andor's on, and all that stuff, but the thing is they still rush to watch it. They still rush to watch it every episode. Yeah. So they can bitch about it. It's like,
sorry.
I'm just saying, acknowledge what the fuck it is. Just acknowledge what the fuck it is. It's like, you watch this shit because this is your money, like this is your shit. This is how you make your fucking cash. Right. So it's like, you're going to attack the show, and you've been doing it now for a couple months, and as word of Andor spreads through the internet, and as people start checking it out, and they go, that's actually really fucking good, and it starts building and building and building and building and building. These guys are still dogging on it. And then, are there valid criticisms with the show? Absolutely. There's actually a fair amount you can criticize with the show. But when you go, man, fucking bricks, dude.
Right.
Fucking
like,
bricks.
That's not the thing that like.
What do you mean there were screws in the wall? I don't know. They fucking ran out of super glue. Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
I was gonna mention Reed's comment. Do you feel like Josh's negativity is rubbed off on Theory a little bit? Trying to be positive, but it's Josh dragging him and trying to influence his opinion a little bit.
You know what? I could see that actually being a thing. Josh is not a good person, in my opinion, and as I've stated multiple, I don't care about his politics, but he likes to use people, in my opinion. And as we saw with like the Gray Council, he was trying to fundamentally split the Phantom Menace as a way to like solidify himself as being this arbiter of positivity, right? And then he gets in with Star Wars Theory, and obviously like negativity sells more than positivity, especially on the internet. But even Theory himself has been like, he's just had some really, even before then, he's had some really bad takes. And I think a lot of it is just like, they don't like the criticism. And he's like, oh, the internet's going to do what the internet's going to do. But, okay. Bricks and screws. It's like, I kind of want to see, how he handles it. 'Cause we might get a Zod Rider situation here. where it's just
God.
you know, it's just all that shit. Let's see here. McLeod is going off. It says Star Wars theory has become such a toxic gatekeeper. He will go out of his way to completely disavow the existence of the sequels. When he does Saber reviews and the Saber reaches, what? Saber color and voice, he'll quickly switch to the next second he hears her voice, okay? He will also pretend that any and all references to the sequels like Snoke, Clone, and Mandalorian never happened. He behaves, and I know that is going to sound like an extreme example, like a Holocaust denier. To him, the sequel's okay, boy, okay, calm down.
Yeah, it's
let's
like a
pump,
leap,
pump the brakes on this one here. All right, like
yeah, let's not compare like ignoring the sequels to denying the Holocaust.
Yeah, listen, let's. No, all right, I get what you're trying to say. Yeah, maybe bring it back a little bit. Maybe bring it back a little bit. That's a leap. I agree. That's a leap. That's a bit of extreme. That's a reach. Yeah, I
get what you're trying to say. It's just like don't use that comparison.
Yeah, let's not do it. Let's not and say that we did. But all right, let's give this another couple minutes and see what he says.
I'll go into any of these subreddits because they're kind of unnecessary, to be honest. You can do that on your own. But a lot of it comes from, I feel like a lot of hate that people have for me. And this didn't exist when I had, I don't know, less than 1.5 million subs. Everything before that was like really golden. It was really fun. I had a really fun time on the channel. And no one was really mean. It just seems like any opinion I have now, it's like that's not okay. It's intolerable. It's like I have to have a gag order whenever I talk about Star Wars, which I never will. I will continue to talk about Star Wars forever, and I will continue to give my opinions forever. And if that offends people, then, well, that's too bad. But that's my opinion, and I'm not ever going to change my thoughts. So that won't change for those who do appreciate my honesty. But also, it's kind of unfortunate that it seems a lot of the clips that people who don't like me take of me and spread around everywhere, all the social media platforms that get hundreds of thousands of views, are, first of all, a lot of them are taken out of context. Maybe not this bricks and screws one, but like, really? I can't say I don't want to see bricks and screws in Star Wars. I mean, come on. Whatever. But they never take clips of things where I say like, hey, like, I don't care what your opinions are on the sequels or your prequels. We're all Star Wars fans at the end of the day. We all got to be positive with one another. We all got to remember we're people. We are just enjoying this movie, and to be respectful of each other's opinions. If you like something, if you don't like something, always express how you feel, but do so eloquently, respectfully, in a kind manner to one another. Those clips are never, ever published online. You know, anything that I say positively when I stand up for people who are bullied, like just like I was or like you were for liking Star Wars when we were kids, those never get clipped.
Okay, listen. I was born in 1982, all right? Star Wars was on VHS when I was a kid. He's 32. He's 8 years younger than me. He was born in 1990, okay? So well after Return of the Jedi and well before The Phantom Menace. We were not bullied for being Star Wars fans as kids. Like not at all. There's a weird mindset. Like the bullying on that kind of shit. I went to multiple schools in the 90s, so it's not like I have one experience. No one fucking cared. Dude, in middle school, we played Pogs, right? All of us played Pogs. Cool kids, lamers, whatever. Everyone played Pogs. They got banned at school because they feared gambling and shit. You know, we had like clubs for fucking Magic the Gathering. We had chess clubs. We had all these other things. No one cared.
Right.
No one. So there's this weird kind of like, it's almost like a boomer thing, right? It's like a weird kind of boomer take where it's like, remember back in the day when we were fucking bullied? Like, bitch, no the fuck you weren't. Like, bitch, no the fuck you weren't. You weren't bullied, motherfucker. You were 9 years old when fucking Phantom Menace came out. You were like barely off your mama's tit. The
Right.
fuck?
Like
You
don't
and you're
remember what
fucking
was, like, living during
Canadian.
that time. Yeah.
Yeah, people are gonna be like, "Oh, you like that Star Wars, eh? All fucking out there with the X-wings and the TIE fighters, and Han Solo. I'm your father. Oh, that's fucking great, eh? Want a beer, hockey, and shit." It's so fucking stupid, dude. It's such a weird victim complex, dude. We read fantasy back in the day. We fucking played fucking card games back in the day. We fucking played Pogs. We fucking did dude, during the summer, again, in my neighborhood, it would be like all the kids, didn't matter what their fucking popularity status was. We'd all end up getting together and doing big ass squirt gun fights all the time in July when it was hot. We'd all go to our friend's house. Everyone had a Nintendo. People were playing. They're always talking about Nintendo. No one fucking cared. It's not this. There's this weird, it's a weird thought process that it goes back. What it is, you know what I mean? It's like this. Okay, Stranger Things season 4. You had the jocks versus the fucking Hellfire Club, right? There's Satanists out there playing their Dungeons and Dragons. All that kind of weird, that satanic panic shit, fucking happened in the 80s. That shit didn't happen in the 90s. It didn't fucking happen in the 90s. I'm not to say that there wasn't.
By the 90s, it was dying down for the most part.
Yeah, it was
there was the ESRB controversy with video game ratings and stuff. That was about it, really.
That was, well, dude, there was also the fucking parental advisory shit from the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Tipper Gore and fucking Joe Lieberman and shit, right? And you know what that was like when we were kids? When that shit happened? It was like, oh, fucking cool, man. All right, I got to get that shit. Dude, it was a fucking badge of honor to have a tape with the fucking parental advisory explicit lyrics sticker on it, because you knew you were getting some shit. It didn't stop anybody. It didn't fucking stop anyone from buying music. It didn't do nothing. It didn't do fucking shit. Back then, it was literally just dude, I'll put it to you like this. When Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time came out, I think it was a junior in high school when that came out. And what year did that come out? Was that 97 or 98?
For what?
For Ocarina of Time.
I think that was 96. I could be wrong. Hold on. Let me look it up.
Yeah. Ocarina of Time. That was 1998. 1998. Okay, so I was a junior.
Okay.
So I wasn't. Yeah, I was a junior in high school then. And so the day that game came out, I took the bus to school, got to school. I was going to leave because we had an open campus back then, back when we were free. I'm kidding. But I could sneak off. No one gave a shit, And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go down, catch the city bus, take it over to the mall, wait for the mall to open at 9 a.m. And I'm going to get my copy of Ocarina because I'd already pre-ordered it from Babbage's. And so my buddy was like, all right, well, he's like, well, I got to go there anyway, so I'll just give you a ride. Okay, cool. I don't know why the fuck he even drove to school that morning. That still boggles my mind because he lived down the street from me. He drove his own car to school and then left with me before school even began to go to the mall. Kind of weird. I don't know. I never asked any questions. But anyway, he drops me off at the mall. I go over. I get my copy. I had the gold copy because I had the pre-order copy of it, right? So I fucking go back out, get on the bus, take the bus back to school, get over to my class, walk on in, sit down, and I fucking pull out the box and I open the box right there in class. And it was my geography class or some shit. Or whatever it was. And all the kids in the class are like, yo, what the fuck? I'm all like, yeah, I went out and picked up Ocarina of Time. That's why I'm a little late. And they're like, everyone is like, oh shit, dude, fucking Zelda. Hell yeah. No one cared. Gaming is not dude, that nerd shit, man. Maybe it was a thing back in the 80s, but as it started to proliferate in the 90s, it stopped being a cultural divide.
Yeah, it wasn't something that people were constant oh, you're a nerd.
It was we never had that.
Well, back in the 80s, the rule was you got a Nintendo, let's go over and play at your house, right? It's come on,
Yeah, it was play Nintendo. I mean, we would meet up at the weekends. We'd have all the friends come over, play GoldenEye parties and shit when that was on the N64. We would do that all the time. Perfect Dark when that game came out. Well, no, sorry. That was a little bit different because I did do that, but I was living in California at the time. But I'm just saying when you have, there wasn't a big thing like that. The fucking jocks, dude, they would go see the nerdy movies. They would play Nintendo. All right. Yeah. They were dicks about other things, about social status. But you walk into the cafeteria and you've got your preps, your socias, your jocks, your fucking stoners, your loser kids, whatever. It doesn't matter. there were groups, fine, social groups, social hierarchy stand, especially in high school, but it wasn't because of the shit you were fucking into. You know what I mean? Like, it was other petty ass bullshit, but it wasn't because of that shit. And that's the biggest fucking thing. Like, I had people, dude, people knew I was the movie guy. People in school knew that I was the guy that liked movies. And so I would usually have a conversation about movies with people, what's coming out, things like that. You know, I was known for that. I was also known for being a loudmouth bastard, but that's beside the point. I'm just saying, it's like back then was a different story. You know what? People hated me not because of the shit I was into, because of the fact that my mouth got me in trouble pretty often. So it's just, there's that.
Yeah, pretty atypical for you.
Not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Right? We know that at this point. But I mean, so when you got this guy right here, you know, this guy, and he's just like, fucking, yeah, man, like I was getting bullied back. No, bitch, no, the fuck you weren't. And if you were, it was one person. Like, it was probably like some guy who grew up watching fucking, you know, A Christmas Story, who idolized himself as being the next Scott fucking Farkas or some shit. And whatever, man. It's just, it's so dumb to think like this shit. This is why it's ridiculous. Like, this is where, like, you know, this motherfucker doesn't know a goddamn thing about getting bullied in school. All right. Like, I don't talk about this much, but like when I was in 4th grade, I went to a therapist because I was suicidal, because I was picked on for years. There were 2 groups out to get me every day. This is no lie. All right. One of them was the poke patrol. People would come up and they'd poke my belly because I got a fucking jelly belly. Right. And as a result of that, I still don't like being touched in my stomach. I don't like it. As a result of that, they would fucking get me all the time. You know, wow. And then there was another group called the Kick Matt's Fat Ass, the KMFA. That were out to get me too. And shit. And a lot of those motherfuckers fucking follow my ass now on Facebook. And a lot of them have apologized for the way that they acted back in the day. Because kids are stupid. All right, let's be fair. Kids are stupid.
Well, that's good.
But it's like being harassed to the point of being near suicidal, not because I was into Star Wars or I was into fucking games and shit, but because I was a fat kid and I was picked on for being fat. That's the shit that really fucking matters, you know? No one is going to walk into their fucking school with an AR-15 and open fire because someone made fun of them liking Lord of the goddamn Rings. That won't happen. But if you pick on things that they have no control over, height, weight, appearance, things along those lines, that will eventually have far greater ramifications. Mm-hmm. You know, I could see them, look, he survived cancer, congratulations to him. But I could see that being a bigger target than being like, the fact that he likes fucking Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sure. And I'm not trying to like, you know, say that was bad. That shouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? Right. But that's the shit that I'm pointing out here.
There's layers to it. It's not just like a clear cut situation. It's like, oh, you bully me.
Yeah, there's layers to all that crap. So someone like Star Wars Theory coming out there and playing the fucking world's smallest, you know, playing the violin, wah, wah, woe is me. You're just like, dude, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Because it's dumb. It's so dumb. You're just being a crybaby at this point because it doesn't exist. You know, it just doesn't exist in a way that he's trying to pull from there. You know, and even in like, again, like, you know, as time has gone on, you know, like when we hit the 2000, you know, there was a saying like the geek shall inherit the earth. That's when nerd culture took the fuck off. Was in the late 90s and early 2000s. And look at where it's at now. This motherfucker is the largest Star Wars channel on YouTube. Not because of the quality of content. Let's be fair. It's pretty shit. But he's the largest one. And he's like, oh, but I was bullied as a kid. No, shut the fuck up, dude. No, you weren't. Because the kids that fucking watch your ass are fucking Star Wars fans from back then. He's like, oh, I was a fan since 1996.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I imagine you get sent harassment. I mean, let's be fair, too. I mean, I'm sure you get some nasty comments, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, but dude, the internet wasn't like it wasn't where it's at right now in 1996. He would have been 6 years old.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like in 1996, dude, I was on fucking like AOL Instant Messenger, you know, like an AOL chat rooms, like ASLing girls in other cities and shit. Mm-hmm. Like, what's your age, sex, location? Oh, cool, you're fucking 14 out of Cincinnati. What up?
Let's hook up on Omegle.
No, dude, this is whoa, man, whoa. This is well before Omegle.
Oh, okay.
Dude, we're talking. This is before AOL Instant Messenger, and even that is something probably you've never even heard of.
No, I when you say ASL, like I'm just like or whatever. It's like Omegle, you know?
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, someone like this guy, it's revisionist history at this point. If you think that you've been bullied for liking Star Wars, like unless he went in like every day with like a Jedi robe and he started speaking like Yoda to everyone in school, right? He goes in the lunch line and he's all like, "Take bean burrito, I will," like box of orange juice I shall have. If he's doing that shit, I'm not saying like he deserves to be bullied, but
I get you.
But you can, okay, at that point, you're being the annoying one, and I kind of get it. I'm not saying it should happen, but if you're just like, yeah, I'm reading a Star Wars book or I'm reading a Star Wars comic, no one is, or even wearing a Star Wars shirt, no one is going to fucking care. Okay. We bullied Twilight fans harder than people in Star Wars fandoms got bullied. And the only reason why we bullied Twilight fans is because we didn't bully them, but like, because they had to live in that world. Okay, guys, let's be fair. You ever, I fucking hate Twilight, but I won't ever mock it publicly to people who are fans. I just mock them behind their back. Obviously, come on, like a gentleman. Way to go about
it, It's like I won't insult you to your face, but I'll insult you quietly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Elsa here makes a great point. It's okay to dislike something, but give me solid reasons and not dumbass excuses like screws and bricks. And I'm trying to argue that he's into the lore and the making of, and he's not taking into a fact that Ferrix is a different culture, right? Ferrix is what wasn't, I think they said Ferrix was like mid-rim or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like it's salt of the earth. It's an industrial people, right? They're salvagers basically. If you think about it in Ferrix. So yeah, like bricks and they have bricks, they've also got a girl there named Bix, but it's just fucking so stupid. Screws in the wall, like
bricks on the side in the background.
Did he rage at the post-credit scene?
I don't know.
When we saw what the fucking what was being built, it's just like, was it like, that's too much. I can't do it. It's too much, you guys. Jesus. Yeah. Dark Scipio here says, I was never bullied because I love Star Wars and heavy metal music. Dude. Yeah. It's just the Scholastic days. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. The Scholastic Book Fair. Oh, dude, that was my jam. That was the best
thing. Like elementary middle school, man. Scholastic Book Fair was the shit.
Oh, I love that. I'd be like, all right, what can I get my hands on? Ooh, new Goosebumps, motherfucker. Or like Where's Waldo books. I love those as a kid.
Yeah, new Goosebumps. You get a free bookmark. Let's go.
That was. See, here's when I was in fucking like middle school or whatever, is when those books came out, or like around that time. I forget exactly what year, but like, dude, those were everywhere back in the day, right? We all read Goosebumps too. Everyone read Goosebumps.
Yeah, of course.
Like the fact that R.L. Stine was able to put out one new book a month is insane.
That is insane.
The thing is, the output level was there, but the thing is the spacing on the stories. They were like they're around like 100 pages long, and you could read one in like a half hour if you read fast enough, because like they're really short. They're just like little novellas. They're probably like no more than like 15,000, 20,000 words, and he just cranks them out. And the thing is though, but the stories were fascinating. The stories were interesting, I still to this day remember like reading the very first one, which is Welcome to Dead House. And like, remember like freaking out when they fucking killed the dog, because the dog always senses the evil first.
Oh no, I don't remember this one. No.
Yeah, that was like the very first one. And I mean, you get the classics like Say Cheese and Die,
Yeah, of course.
Welcome to Camp Nightmare. That was a good one. A lot of the earlier ones are there, but then he also wrote a lot of older, like young adult novels. Like he wrote one called Hit and Run. That was basically, in my mind, dude, it felt like it was like the basis for I Know What You Did Last Summer, kind of. Where it's like these teens on a joyride end up like hitting somebody on the road, and then they start getting tormented by, they think that person, like this is spirit, whatever, or somebody saw whatever, it's the similar concept. But like, I read that book a few times when I was a kid. It freaked me the fuck out. He wrote like the Babysitter series, which is just its own thing, not connected to either the 97 Alicia Silverstone movie or fucking the McG movies on Netflix. But like, he wrote that series. He wrote a bunch of like young adult horror novels that like, I think he also had one called Heat Street or something like that. It was another series for older kids. This guy pumped out the content like no other. And it was huge back then, and that was a big factor with us. Like, again, people like this weird revisionist history of being like bullied for nerdy shit. Dude, even the band geeks in my school were like fucking no one messed with them. You know what I mean? Like the band geeks were probably having more sex than the fucking jocks were.
Yeah, it's like, don't fuck with the drummer. He uses sticks on you after school.
I'm just saying at this point, it's like, fuck Jesus, fuck. Get fucking blasted by the goddamn God fucking.
What?
Were you talking about like getting fucking fingered with the drumsticks?
No, I was talking about like getting beat up with them.
Oh, no, sorry, I got distracted by Benson's thing. I heard my mind immediately went there. But no, band geeks, like they did their own thing, man. And like everyone knew they were off like doing their thing. They were off having their thing. Maybe I just grew up in the fucking 90s. It was this different time and shit. We used to go to school in the morning and get off the bus and they'd get us there about a half hour early. I don't know why, but they got us there like a half hour early. So to kind of like let kids just like go to their locker, get chilled out, get some food or whatever before going to class. But a lot of us who were smokers, we would just walk across the street. There was a little neighborhood. We just walk around this big ass tree and everyone would be back out there smoking in the morning, and then we'd all smoke our cigarettes and then we'd all go back to school.
Sounds all right.
And I mean, this is like 100 feet away from the school.
Yeah.
We're all out, and they had to have known we were doing it. Like I at this point, I'm like, teachers have to know when the kids smoke. There's literally no other way.
So you would think so. Some of them are very smart. So
I mean, like if you smoke menthols, it's a little bit different, but vape now makes it a little bit harder. But if a kid smokes weed, you're gonna know that it's weed. It's not just fucking dirty armpits. You're gonna know that it's weed. Anyway, reminiscing about the fucking good old days. Benson here for $5. Thank you. Says, do you think Americans would switch to a Musk mobile phone if the almost monopoly status of Apple banned on the Twitch or the Twitter app, or stick with the old tech? The economy is shit. So people aren't gonna.
No one's gonna want to buy a really new expensive phone.
Yeah, no one's gonna go and be like, oh yeah, I need to go and do this. No, it's not gonna happen, man. It's just not gonna fucking happen. I would not. If it's like, oh, Twitter is now banned from the app, okay. Sorry, I have to now move on with my life. Darn it. Oh no, you know what I mean? It's like, oh
right,
no.
It's like, darn it. I had to like get off my ass and go outside.
Well, I'll tell you. So when I used to get into it with customers at the drive-in, and there'd be times where I would really get into it with the customers at the drive-in. And they would tell me, like, they would always go like, well, I'm going to go talk to your manager and you're not going to have a job much longer. And I would just go, my response back was, oh no, please don't make me move on with my life. And they go,
see if it'd be that meme from Willy Wonka. Oh no, please don't go.
Oh, yeah. Oh no, please don't stop. Right. Like I had that happen one time and I was getting into it with a customer and they're like, I want to talk to the manager after they'd already threatened me. And my boss was like, I don't know, like 20 feet behind me smoking a cigarette on the hood of his car. And I look past the customers and they don't know that it's him. And he just kind of goes like, I see him sigh. He goes to stand up and he fixes his pants. And I go, I'm the assistant manager. And I go, I'm the manager and I'm the only one you're going to talk to. And he just goes, I see him just look at me and he just shrugs and sits back down and goes back to smoking a cigarette. Like it was so funny. I got away with fucking murder, dude, at that place. But to go back to Benson's question here, no, people would not buy a Musk phone just for Twitter. I mean, come on.
Not for one app. Like the services on that phone would be like amazing. They were convinced they would hop over.
Well, plus you can use Chrome on your phone and access the website.
Oh yeah, it's true. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
So yeah. No, I'm not even remotely worried about that at all. I mean, look, here's the thing. People out there like don't even buy a lot of Teslas, you know? Like Musk relies on subsidies in order to be as rich as he is. So, you know, it's entirely possible that he's trying to put Twitter in such an unstable position to where like the government might have to come in and offer up subsidies in order to protect the data on Twitter. Because just imagine for a second, all of the politicians that have had communications on Twitter, all of the secret burner accounts that have had communications on Twitter, all the data, tons of data that's sitting on servers. And imagine if that shit gets out there. We're talking, the heads will roll. You know, how many, like, think of like the leaked email situation from fucking Sony. You know, Amy Pascal made a couple bad comments, cost her job, you know? And so it's like that's you're going to see like leaked DMs from, you know, highly profilable people, or high profile people. And it's going to be like how many times they say really racist things, you know? Just imagine J.K. Rowling's fucking DMs, dude.
No.
Just imagine that shit. It's just, all I'm saying on that is like, there's that kind of crap. And that could be something that they're trying to work on, that they're trying to push fast. Like, I don't know, you know? And let's see, Benson here says, I think people would switch purely because it's a Musk phone. The spec on the phones look ridiculous. No, people don't have the money for it, dude. Unless the phone is like $100, a lot of people are not going to do it.
Well, it's $100. How good could it possibly be anyway? You know?
All right.
$100 phone, you know?
Well, Benson also says Musk is the only car producer to pay off all of his government subsidies back with interest. I'm pretty sure his left-wing information he'd love to release. Oh, yeah. I'm not saying it's all right-wing shit. So there's that. Rationaler says Elon unbanned Sargon and Milo. Did he unban Milo? I know he unbanned Sargon.
He's apparently doing this whole amnesty thing. Like, we got sort of.
Oh, right. Every banned account is going to be back. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are really upset about that and everything else. And I'm like, look, what they're going to do is all these people are going to run back and they're just going to start saying shit again to start saying it. And, you know, it's just, it is what it is.
The cycle continues.
Yeah. It's just this. Yes. The cycle absolutely continues. And that's all. It's all fucking, you know, it's all crazy. Like Sargon, I've known Sargon for years. He's not the person I knew back in 2014. He's gone. That person is gone, you know? Like that. He's insane.
It's like, it's a shell of herself.
It's really. Just, well, you know, when you start off as a lefty and then you come out after a 5-year ban on Twitter, which it was stupid, but it's like, he liked to push boundaries. Like, you got to understand, like Sargon back in 2018, in the fall of 2018, after Steve Bannon was ousted from the White House, Steve Bannon traveled to Europe in order to start recruiting for a new bid over there. He was trying to make it work over in Europe. And he ended up meeting Sargon and interviewing Sargon. And then all of a sudden Sargon starts talking about how we need to get me on Tucker Carlson to explain Gamergate to normies. Now, look, I'm a left-leaning progressive. I'm a policy progressive. But I was like, yeah, sure, I would go on Tucker. And even now I would go on Tucker Carlson and I would explain Gamergate. Literally, I had no problem with that. You know why? Because if I could red pill some people on what it is, I would absolutely like to red some people on what it is. But also, I would talk about all the bullshit that went down with it. What it was initially was not what it turned into. You know what I mean? And it's like most people in Gamergate were lefties.
Yeah, those guys would freaking corrupt your interview though. If you ever gave me like, oh, we're gonna selective edit it to make it look like worse than it is.
Oh yeah, I've already been selectively edited multiple times, and sometimes not at all. I've said dumb shit anyway. But no, the thing is though. But then Sargon tried running. He ran for UKIP, which was a party that, like, you know, Nigel Farage had started. Nigel Farage was able to get the Brexit going. And he ran in UKIP and he tried running for, I think, a parliament seat. And he tried using Trumpian tactics on the Brits. And it did not work. It was so bad because UKIP backed him, right? It was so bad that Nigel Farage came out of retirement because he had stepped down as the head of UKIP, created the Brexit Party, and ultimately got more votes for the Brexit Party than UKIP got. Like UKIP lost a ton to the point of where it doesn't exist anymore. So Sargon tanked a political party. The political party responsible for Brexit, Sargon tanked in a matter of weeks.
Which blows me away that he did that, right? Or just like this guy on the internet tries to run for office and fails so spectacularly, he drags his entire party down during a pivotal election year. Like, that's like some massive, like, dear God, what did you do kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I know. It's crazy shit there. But let's see here. Rational asks, why does Reset Era hate you? Apparently your content is banned there. Reset Era doesn't like me for the same, because they came off of NeoGaf. And NeoGaf hated everybody, but Reset Era was like the far lefty loonies. And what's funny is, you know, Manabite, the guy Manabite.
Oh my God, yeah, Jeremy Conrad.
Like, so that dude, full on fucking right winger, right?
Well, yeah, didn't he get like, he was a big he used to be back in the day like this big entertainment guy and Scooper. Didn't he get like exposed for being like a racist or something?
Yeah, he said some questionable things on Reset Era, things like that.
It was on Reset Era.
Now it was on Reset Era that he did it, yeah, and other things along those lines. I mean, no, maybe it was NeoGaf, because after Reset, because NeoGaf had such a big falling out that a lot of the mods left, and I forget the whole story as to why it happened, but like they created Reset Era, and so Reset Era, like again, like I could never get a NeoGaf, like I would always get denied requests to join, because it was very like elitist back in the day. And everything else, and then Reset Era just fucking hates me. So it is how it is. And I'm fine with that. I don't care. Like I don't care.
Reset Era hates you. You're probably in some right because the place just sucks. It's like Reddit, but for even more delusional losers.
Yeah. Well, okay. So if UKIP exists under a new name, but still the concept UKIP as a name was destroyed from that. Like that is true, Benson. Like Sargon fucked it up. And Farage is definitely a successful politician in the UK. If he comes back a third time, I'd just make the guy prime minister and be done with it, because he might as well. I don't know. And I'm not a fan of his politics, but it's like, it's all sorts of shit. Tony here asking, what did you think of Milo these days? Oh my God. Milo. Okay. So I know you got to go and let me tell you this, and then you can dip out, because a couple little things I got to watch that I got to go to bed too. But one of the things that Milo did, so Milo was, very flamboyantly homosexual, right? And that was his whole thing. He was like, he touted himself like as a Oscar Wilde type guy, and he would, he was like the new kind of Oscar Wilde, very flamboyant, very witty. And he was a tech editor for Breitbart, ended up getting sent into Gamergate by Steve Bannon in order to manipulate us into everything else. And he succeeded, unfortunately. But he then, ended up getting eventually fired from Breitbart, tried doing his own thing, and got ass blasted out of the fucking right wing when, he was on a show called The Drunken Peasants and made a comment that was kind of like pro grooming. Older man, younger gay guy is totally okay. And he made a joke about like, basically like a priest had molested him, which is like implying that might be why he's gay. I don't know. It was a long time ago. And so he got called out by by a bunch of people on the right. And it actually, because he was going to speak at CPAC, which was going to be a big thing for him. That was a big career move for him to go to CPAC and be accepted.
Of course. It would be
they pulled out. And then after that, he tried doing his own thing for a while. That didn't work out. He had married a guy and they were living in Miami, and he apparently was like $20 million in debt or some shit. He ended up, working for like, I forget the name of the outlet, but it was like very pro-Trump, right-wing Christian values organization. So he denounced his homosexuality, divorced his husband, and is now gone straight. And apparently is now working with Kanye West on a Kanye 2024 ticket.
Oh my god, are you serious?
That's what I've been hearing. I haven't really paid
Why
much
would he
attention.
oh my god.
And then through Milo, Kanye had met Nicholas Fuentes and took Nicholas Fuentes, who was like 23, who's a full-on fascist, took him to Mar-a-Lago to have dinner with Donald Trump the other day. That did happen.
Jesus.
And it's like, I don't know what the fuck is going on right now. I am
Nothing good.
I am not necessarily involved in a lot of it. I am not I'm like, all right, you know what, man? Like, I'm good. I'm fucking okay, man. I'm fucking okay. There's
yeah, don't be, I don't even know at this point. It's like, Jesus, man. Like, that's just crazy to me. Like, Milo, I don't know. He's always just like just such an odd character. He's such an odd character.
Yeah, well, a lot of those guys are. A lot of those guys who came out of Gamergate and everything else, like,
well, yeah, they're like, it's like the equivalent like the college room buddies thing. It's all like there's like a tight knit kind of community sort of thing.
Well, but it's also so it was for a while and then it fell apart and the infighting began and everyone was trying to just get an upper hand on everybody else. Like there was a guy got suckered into it, a guy named Armored Skeptic, right? Guy named Greg.
Oh, yeah, he was Shoe on Head's former boyfriend.
Yeah. They got together in 2015. I think they broke up like a couple years back or whatever. And but like when they started dating, like, Shu and I were friends. And then when they got together, she started bad mouthing me like publicly. And I'm like, why are you? I even hit her up one time. I'm like, are you mad at me? Like, did I do something? And she's like, no, we don't ever talk anymore. And I'm like, okay, but you're still talking all this trash about me. Like, what the fuck's going on? And so that was kind of weird. But they broke up, and she kind of, has like, I think she's got over like 1 million followers on Twitter now or whatever. And
oh yeah, she's blown up in popularity. Like she's like really a big figurehead now.
Well, but a lot of lefties don't like her. A lot of her old lefty friends don't like her because it's like she's kind of gone more right wing and everything else. But the thing was when she was with Armored Skeptic, it was a totally different vibe going on there.
Yeah,
but then
definitely.
They broke up, and as many of us, you gotta understand, people in the community fucking hated Greg, hated him.
Yeah, I think wasn't it true that they're looking for like any reason to push him out?
Well, there was a running gag amongst a bunch of us at like a pool, you know what I mean, about when they would break up, like who's gonna call it, who gets the money, it was a running gag, but like no, people just thought he was smug and didn't like him, and so, but they broke up, and like I said, she was gonna get everything in the divorce. Because they had tied themselves together so much that when they broke up, he was not going to have the ability to maintain the audience because they were going to go with her.
Well, yeah, because of course everyone's going to go with Shu. She was the more popular one of the two.
Yeah. But he tried to be her manager, like he jokingly said it, but we all knew it was true and shit. And, and so you've got all that stuff. And then he came out recently and he was like, yeah, I'm broke. Like he's like, I've lost everything. His channel's dead. And, and it's like, I feel bad for him. A lot of people are mocking him for it, but I get it. I totally fucking understand. I totally get it. This game, dude, this game is fun, but it will fucking destroy you if you're not careful. And I know that firsthand too.
You can end up being really screwed over if not careful.
Yeah. And so it's like, it's just, that's the issue with it, man. So yeah, it's old school shit. It's way old school shit, but it's like, I'm kind of happy to live in the woods away from all of that crap.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, listen, you got out of it and now you're like, better off talking about dumb movie shit,
Yeah. I know
what the hell was going on over there.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, people have been asking me to come back. I've been getting a lot of those requests recently to like, come back and start talking about that shit again. I'm all like, I don't want to, dude. I don't fucking want to, because if I bring that shit back up, then it's just going to go back into that old shit. And you know what? Like, am I smarter now than I was before? Sure. But my politics have changed and not to be more in line with those guys. I'm way more lefty than I was before, and I got no problem vocalizing that shit. But a lot of the audience I built up over there were a lot of those skeptic community people, and they're definitely not left wing. So for me, it's just like, why go through the process of telling them what I think in order just to be met with nothing but bullshit in response?
Yeah,
that ain't good for my own mental health. I don't mind, feedback, but it's like, soy boy cook shit. It's like, fuck off, man.
Those buzzwords. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, dude, go to bed. I got a couple little things to watch, and then I'm going to go to bed myself. So,
all right. Well, thank you so much, Matt, for having me on. Much love to all you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.
All right. Thanks, RJ. Have a good one, buddy. All right. 3-hour streams, man. I didn't even want to go this long, but it happens all the time. It happens all the fucking time. So, all right. Couple little things here to get to. We had one thing from Ryan. It was this little 30-second commercial, and then let me just get that up here as well. And then of course, it's not a night without some 40K. All right, where are we here? So this is Johnson boating you and your Johnson commercial. I don't know what this is. Ryan says it's pretty funny though.
At your sunrise, you caught a prize. You're making your Johnson. Party nights, summer whites. You, your friends, and your Johnson. Rooster tails, water trails. You, your kids, and your Johnson. Saturday nights, distant lights. You, your girl, and your Johnson.
Jesus.
You and your Johnson, a way of life for over 50 years.
What is a Johnson a boat? Is it a boat? What's going on? I don't even know, guys. But all right, thank you very much for that one, Ryan. I really appreciate that. And then we've got this one here. It's a minute long. It's Warhammer. It's Google translated.
Get some wine. This is the time of 5th edition. You will not be baptized. You bad boys will not be taking any action against the enemy.
What?
The army is under attack.
Germany, listen to me, please. We are dying here. We cannot be perfectly cute, supernatural beings. No, okay? The army is enthusiastic. Military vehicles are forced into the parking lot. Powerful balls fall from the sky. They cannot be overstated. God has blown us. She is now naked.
What?
It wasn't my fault. First day of school is over, and I can't remember it.
Okay. Good old Google Translate, guys. Good old Google Translate. Funny stuff there. So, all right, well, we can chill for a few more minutes. Reed here says, we do a call-in stream about what movies you like this year. Yeah, no, I like that. That's a good idea and whatnot. I'd be okay with that. Set that up here by the end of the year. I do want to do more with the call-in stuff. It's just like figuring it out. And, I mean, like what I don't want to do is like Max when he has like 10 people on a panel and he streams for like 4 hours because like, it takes all that time to get one word in edgewise. So, but a couple things real quick here. I'm going to be uploading them once we're done, but, I got a couple video drops in the morning. I got, Netflix making bank off of, Knives Out, and then, talking about how the future of the MCU is going to be with these special presentations. I'm trying something just where I do like, quick little 4 or 5 minute videos that are kind of broad topics, just off the cuff talking about them. Not anything that like I prep and I build up because no one gives a fuck. It takes forever to do. Like it just does. It takes for fucking ever. So I'm like, I'll just talk. We'll see where it goes. And we'll go from there. So good stuff on that one. Yeah, Tony here says the good old days. How good were they? That's my question. How good old were the good old days? Everything's pretty crazy here. Plus cancel culture. Darkness here says cancel culture. I mean, I've already been canceled, so I don't know if I can get canceled again necessarily. Junior Jangles here says, any more chuds you can goof on? What's Mike Zero been up to? I have no fucking idea what Mike Zero has been up to. I have no effing idea what he's even remotely been up to. Is he still putting out content? Like, let me look here. Let's see. Mike Zero. What is this motherfucker up to? Because, like, how the fuck does he still... This is my thing with Mike Zero. How does he still maintain anything? Like, I don't get it. You know? Like, I really, really don't get it. So here we can see what he's got. Let me bring this up here. So videos. All right, he's at 285,000 subs. Okay. Good for him. Look at the videos here. Recently uploaded. He got, 11 hours ago, 1,000 views. 16 hours ago, 1,800 views. Oh my God, his view counts have just diminished. These have just diminished. Look at this. I mean, he's got 285,000 subs, and like he can't really crack like 2,800 views. Look at these. You can see how many views per hour they're getting. 5, 24, 39. Wow. Disney's changing Luke Skywalker's death scene 6 days ago. That's got 6,000 views. I mean, I don't want to watch that. Like even Gina Carano didn't even pull it in. Look at that. 1,700. Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to stop clicking on any of that shit. Wow. This is just like, I'm just saying this right now. At this point, this dude puts out a couple videos a day, it looks like, and nothing is working. Nothing is even remotely. Wow, this is sad. I mean, I don't think I should be like, I don't know if I should feel bad or whatever, because like this is all nonsense. This is the problem when you don't have a new movie coming out, right? This is what happens when you have a channel dedicated to lies about Star Wars, and you don't have a movie coming out, right? Benson, we will do that before the end of the month. Mike Zero is not a judge. That's very true. He is just clickbait. You are right. You guys are right. But at the same time, though, look at this here. All right. Like so talking about everything here, what we can kind of ascertain is when you've got a channel like this and a channel that talks about like Star Wars, if you look here, all right, he's talking about like Indiana Jones. There's no mention of Andor. Right? And it's like Andor is the current Star Wars show, or even Tales of the Jedi. I'm not seeing anything here about Tales of the Jedi. What we're seeing here is it's nothing about what's currently happening with Star Wars. It's not to say Star Wars is dead. All right. A lot of other channels cover it and they find other ways to talk about it. But here we go. Star Wars episodes 10, 11, and 12 leak. Things are changing now. Star Wars Explained. He's still trying to rip off Alex from Star Wars Explained. And we know that that's just not going to work. He's been doing this now for years and it just hasn't really fucking worked. I mean, just scrolling. This is the thing. I'm sorry. I'm like flabbergasted at how utterly, utterly bad this is, guys. Like this has been going on for months. And like, I know a thing or two about bad views and dead channels, but geez, Jesus Christ. All right. You know what? I'm kind of curious here. I'm kind of curious about something. What has he got here on the microphone?
As well as John.
He's got his microphone right there. But like, look, let's see here. All right. 140 likes. Look at this person here. Chris here says, I'm loving the near constant updates about everything there is to know about what's going on with the production of Star Wars media. The short to the point style you've got going on is super underrated. I hope you blow up here in the near future. What? Look, he's got 1,000 views and like 5 comments, all right. 2 days ago, Favreau here. All right. He's staying here. Okay. 138 likes, about the same amount of likes. Really, this Christian Gabino guy talking. That's it. Jesus. Wow. All right. Let's see. Indiana Jones. That's got to have some more play. Indiana Jones was doing okay, right? 2,300 views 4 days ago, 207 likes, some more views. So obviously stuff with Indiana Jones is doing its thing here, that might, because you got stuff going on with that. Otherwise, there's just nothing happening. Penson here says, I don't even think the past. Yeah, Enosh hasn't done a 2 cents on nonsense. It kind of died. It kind of died off. It could be a thing. If we had another movie coming out next year, he could be hyping up that movie, and he could be doing that because he did that with the Rise of Skywalker. He did that with Rise of Skywalker, and that's where he had a lot of people talking about it. But there hasn't been a movie in 3 years, and the shows have been generally well received, and there's been no talk about any new movie. So it's crazy. Moisture says he should cover Willow. Yeah. I'm going to rewatch Willow this weekend if I can. Definitely this week, and I'm going to review it over on Patio Commentary, and then get ready for the show. So I'm looking forward to that, though. Would you guys? Here's a question for you guys, because there's still 72 of you guys in here, and I'll be wrapping it up here in a minute. Do you guys want me to do like quick little like one-offs on the episodes that I watch? I'm kind of curious about that. To give my thoughts and opinions if anyone wants to see that kind of stuff. Because I don't know, like, again, it's kind of hard to do when there's so much to watch, like it's hard to watch a lot of shows. Like tonight I went through 4 episodes of Wednesday. I'm looking forward to finishing it tomorrow, but still that's like 8 episodes and shit. Anyway, curious to know your guys' thoughts. Okay, Junior here's all down for that though. Yeah, I mean, like certain things I think you do live streams, having conversations about that, or maybe just doing like community, the channel member. I don't know. I hate putting anything behind a fucking paywall. I really am not a fan of that. It's just, it just bugs me. The shorts would be a lot easier to do. The shorts would be super easy to do. I can shoot those in like literally a minute. But all right, guys, on that note, I am going to go to bed. It's 1:30 a.m. here. I'm 3.5 hours we've been on. Lot to talk about tonight. Holy shit. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me this evening. If you haven't already joined the Discord, it's a pinned comment. Like the video. We got 51 likes. All right, cool. 52 likes. Hell yeah. All right, you guys are great. You're awesome. Thank you all so much. You guys are the best of the best of the best around. Nothing's gonna fucking take me down. All right, I'll see you guys.